Hi folks, I'm John. Welcome to this week's game session of Masks of Nyarlathotep at Immortals Inc. Last time the characters arrived safely in London and began asking, let's call them inconvenient questions. We're down a couple of players this week, but we do still have four. One person's on vacation and the other one had a work obligation. But want to start us off telling us who you are and who you're playing?
Sure, my name is Hugh Delury. I'm playing Techland Steele, a private investigator.
I'm Nate Elwood. I'm playing Father Cecil Sullivan, and I'm a Jesuit priest.
And my name's Richard McGuire, and I'm playing a hobo named Samus.
My name's Tom Ullman. I am playing Mustafa Ali. I'm sponsored by Yoo-Hoo, but not really.
And can I get a D6 toss from each of you guys to see who gets to recap last week's session? Ooh.
4.
Tom, you want to tell us about last time?
Okay, well, we arrived safely in London. I have a very good friend who's vacationing in London at the moment, actually. And London is a very civilized place, and if you ask anyone, they will tell you it is the center of the universe.
Well, obviously.
We went to the Penhew Foundation, and as predicted, they are a bunch of snooty buttholes who are in need of a good killing. I mean, not yet. Not yet. We were trying to talk to Gawainage. Is that what his name is?
Gavignon?
Gavignon, same difference. Who's the head of the foundation, but he is way too busy being bougie and whatever else he's doing.
Not too busy for tea, though.
Right. We talked to Mickey Mahoney, the owner of The Scoop, which is a newspaper that prints lurid headlines. He offered us all money to give him the dish about our friend's horrible demise, which we were fortunately we're not in need of lots of money, or so we didn't take him up on that. We tried to talk to Inspector James Barrington from Scotland Yard. His secretary blew us off. We found out that at the Penhew Foundation, they did some test diggings west of Giza and Dashur, and they had their display case was clearly negligent, and they were just pandering to rubes because it was just a bunch of junk, basically.
The museum got all the good stuff.
Probably. Well, I think the Penhew Foundation has their own little museum. I went to the Alexandria restaurant, or my character did, and everybody there was talking about a place called the Blue Pyramid in Soho. The only thing culty we discovered were some headlines about Egyptian murders. I don't think we learned anything earth-shattering yet about the Carlisle expedition. Just maybe reinforcing what we already know, that Carlisle was a nutter, and that he had more money than sense, and what we believe is who's that guy? Penhew, Sir Henry, probably filled his head with a bunch of stories about lost gold, or who knows what he told them. But it was clearly enough to get him out of New York into Egypt, and then something happened in Egypt which led them to go to south to
Kenya.
Kenya. I keep wanting to say Nigeria, but it's...
Nairobi is the capital of Kenya. That's probably what you're thinking of.
I just read a really cool book that was about Nigeria, but...
Oh, that could be it too. All right. There were two other things that I just wanted to reiterate that you kind of mentioned tangentially. One was Inspector Barrington, and you talked about the Egyptian murders. Do you remember that there was a connection between those two?
Wasn't he the lead investigator on those?
We haven't talked to him yet.
You have not yet talked to him. And I think somebody else heard a mention of the Blue Pyramid Club aside
I
from you.
did.
We did, yeah, we were
Oh,
following somebody.
And Samus was kind of low-key being followed by someone you white folks called Egyptian. Could have been from, Morocco or Syria, but...
And you guys are just all paranoid. He could be a good guy.
That's true too, but he did end up at the Blue Pyramid, so there's two.
The news articles also, one of them was about a beast that was about in a couple hours away from London in the moors.
In Loch Ness.
Yeah.
Another one was about a local artist, Mr. Shipley, who has been creating some very unique art that I'm sure we will
I
want
did
to
not
talk to
go
him
to
about.
the...
And do you remember how you found those three articles?
At the scoop.
Because they were...
Jackson and I.
Yeah, they were ones Jackson had asked about.
We also gave the guy twice as much as he makes in a week to have cuttings sent to us. And I did not go to the... whatchamacallit, the exposition.
The British Empire exhibition.
Yes.
Exhibition. So I don't know exactly what happened there, and I'm trying not to metagame, but
We saw a very... well,
saw
at
a
least-
scary painting.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm trying to remember if that painting, if the lady mentioned it was from the same...
It was not. I
artist.
asked. The picture was the mountain Kinga.
I was wondering if it was painted by Mr. Shipley or not.
That we didn't know. We didn't ask that question. Damn, mate.
I
Shipley
feel
doesn't-
like you may have actually asked that question.
Because I remember she talked about it was
Yeah.
an artist.
Oh,
And she
yeah.
said
They-
the
they all
staff
painted
The
Painted
staff,
it.
and she pointed to the part that she painted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, was trying to make a connection between that mountain and the mountain.
So is
of
Shipley on the
Darkland,
staff?
But it's not.
Shipley doesn't sound like a
Well, according to the article, he's
Kenyan name,
he's a regular Joe who just happens to have these vivid dreams, and he paints what's in his dreams, and he's based off of the descriptions of these paintings. It's very Cthulhu-y.
I wonder if he has these dreams in a full moon or not.
I'm sure we'll
He
find out.
probably eats
We'll
food
talk.
before he goes to bed. That's
Like
what I'm guessing.
Salami. Your salami dreams? Crazy.
But chronologically, right now, it would be the beginning of the 5th, so Thursday, because that ended our Wednesday evening, our goose chase to the Blue Pyramid and back to the hotel.
That's right. I
Alright.
think before the session ended, you and Declan were talking about scoping out the Blue Pyramid.
And I'm going to say that Rose and Alexander have gone out to check out a few museums. And that's where they are occupied.
It seems like
for
a
the
good
moment.
hobby.
You've been enjoying it?
So this is session 9. What date does it start at?
I believe it's February
February 5th, 1925.
And we have an appointment with Edward Friday
Gavin Young on 3 p.m. for tea
at 6 on the 6th.
on the 6th.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we got a free day at least. So try to make. Yeah. What are we gonna do?
Shopping.
Shopping.
Isn't that what you do?
There's a lot of shopping to do in
D&D.
London.
Yes, there is.
I actually want to start making inquiry. I just don't know where to start about Mr. Shipley since he's local. I don't think going out to the because I definitely want to check out this. If Jackson had an interest in some kind of beast in the
Just go to an
marshlands.
art gallery
Well,
and ask.
also, I think the Shipley thing is probably more towards what we're, since you guys saw the painting.
Don't you guys want to go out in the woods and get eaten by a large monster?
I don't.
Since we're short-handed and all. Sounds like a plan.
Also, but I mean, also newspapers were kind of like having browser tabs open. So I mean, he might have just seen that and been like, "Ooh, this is fun." I mean, it doesn't scream cultist to me.
No, it definitely does not scream cultist, but it is definitely
Something of interest.
mythos related.
Something of interest. And
Well,
going out on the moors with 2 players down, they're here. They just get eaten first.
And
Remember, I don't have to run faster than the beast, just faster
Well-
than you.
I run pretty fast.
what day was it?
Without them here to make rolls, they're gonna run pretty slow.
For 2 days, living in Cleveland was like living on the moors with that fog that we have.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, that's. I think.
Barrington might be a good option for today.
I'll put that in your wheelhouse. Believe me, I will not walk into Scotland Yard willingly.
Well, if you go solo and you don't make it back, then we know there's something up.
But I'll ask the front desk where a good art gallery is, and perhaps if they have heard of any of this Mr. Shipley's work. If that comes up negative, I'll find an art gallery, ask around there, kind of try to trace. a
You're
way
trying to find your way back to Shipley specifically?
to him specifically.
All right. So that's what you're working on. What, Declan? What are you working on?
Just try to make contact with Bennington.
Barrington.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to have to head down to Scotland Yard.
You know what, too, is maybe the reporter who wrote this article knows where he's at.
That's a good point too. I could, you know what? X all that. I'm gonna go straight to the scoop, or I don't know if they have a phone there or not, but see if I can find the reporter who did this.
Before you get to that point, do you happen to have the art history skill?
I do. I'll go with them.
I do not.
I do.
All right.
That's actually a
what
skill.
are
Yeah.
Mustafa and Samus doing?
I'm going with him.
So you're going to accompany Father Sullivan.
I'm either going to go to check out the Blue Pyramid,
Mm-hmm.
Or to jail. Scotland Yard. Well,
I don't know what. The only thing I could say is we're investigating the Egyptian murders. I'm an Egyptian.
you know, there's a
Yeah.
dude on Baker Street that could give us some help. Some advice.
Well, he
To
passed
be.
his time.
I think we have a little more too. Is that let's assume that if Elias got this article, then very possibly also met with Barrington to talk about other stuff going on too. So he may know more than just about the Egyptian murders if he and Jackson and Elias got together. That's kind of what I'm banking on. I'm hoping they did get together and then I'll have some information.
I mean, I could.
Yeah, and as an Egyptian, I mean, he might give more away.
Samus, you said, I'll let you guys keep figuring out your strategy. Samus, you said you have art history.
I have 1 point.
All right, 1 point's plenty, actually. You happen to know, because of the study you've been doing with art, both contemporary and classical, you recall reading about the best ways to try to track down an artist. And you recall a couple of galleries and talked to a couple of people. Apparently you've been hobnobbing with people that are in a different social tier than what you have been accustomed to. But you do ask around a bit, and you find out that Shipley lives in Chelsea. Chelsea is a borough of London. It's in the western part of London, just north of the Thames, south of Knightsbridge.
So he's on the map.
He's on the map. Yeah, so you know where to go and how to find it. He lives in a part of Chelsea called Holbein Mews, Holbein Mews, Mews, and you actually have an address for him. Apparently, he has even been known to entertain clients either who are interested in commissioning a work or purchasing something he's already painted.
No art lessons.
Not that you've heard about, but you could certainly go and ask.
Well, do we approach him surreptitiously or as part of the investigation?
You guys are talking about Barrington, or are we?
Shipley.
Well, that's my question. I thought you and Declan
guys
were
were both
talking about
Scotland
Barrington, and Samus and Sully were talking about
Well, we're all still
Shipley. But if you
we're
all
all
want to
still
stick together, that's
We're all together. Still.
okay.
Yeah, we can also do this in like a rotation too.
Yeah, I mean, whatever way you
So,
guys
I
want to
mean-
approach it. If you want to stick together, I'm totally cool with that. If you want to split up, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
think
it'd be better.
I don't think things need to be like thematically appropriate for like all of us to just to be together and do our stuff.
I'm not
Go
going
do
to.
your stuff.
I'm not going to go to Scotland Yard. There's no way. I'm not going there.
You can
Just
sit in the
plain-
coach.
It's plain and simple. There's no way in hell I'm walking to Scotland Yard.
Well, I'm trying to decide if I should.
You know you want to do lunch at the Blue Pyramid.
I do. I'm guessing that it probably doesn't get hopping till after dark.
How about this? We'll go check out Shipley. You guys try to follow a lead at Scotland Yard. We'll meet up around 1 o'clock or so at the Blue Pyramid. We'll have lunch there and just kind of feel it out.
Scope it out.
Also known as Juju House London.
Yeah.
You'll fit right in. It's great.
I'm alright with that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
I want to get forged documents saying that I'm an Egyptian diplomat or police officer.
You want to get forged ones, or you
This
want
is
to make
before-
forged
Well,
ones?
when you get to Egypt, it'll be easier. You just bribe them people and, those Egyptian people.
Well,
You know how the system works. You came from there, didn't you?
yeah, I mean, it's not that bad, colonizers. I mean, it's not,
Okay, so
I go.
So you guys are heading to Scotland Yard, which really isn't that far
You guys can walk.
from where your hotel is. You're going to be able to walk that. The two of you heading to Chelsea are probably going to take the coach you guys had rented for the week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with the two of you heading to Shipley's place. It's a row of brick houses. They're all kind of it's a terraced row, 2-story brick buildings. Not the greatest neighborhood in the world. The houses look kind of beat up. You can see there's some loose bricks. A lot of tuck pointing needs to be done. The roofs aren't particularly well maintained. There's a few windows that look are either broken or in need of repair. But the interesting thing when you come up on Shipley's house specifically that you notice is that all the windows are barred, not just closed. And windows are all curtained. Everything is locked up. I mean, this could be a bank or a prison, as tightly as it's secured.
I'm guessing it's to keep something from getting out.
Or he is an artist of some renown. Could be to prevent people from this neighborhood busting in and taking things.
But what would, poor people do with fine art?
You can pawn anything if you find the right place. know somebody can pawn anything.
We also know that a man in Florida stole like $30,000 worth of coins and sold and used them to get like $27 at a Giant Eagle coin machines.
That's awesome.
People can do the stupidest crap.
Well, I know my friend had his house robbed, and they took all the miniatures because they were mounted on nickels and like ripped. You know, they probably didn't care about the miniatures; they just wanted the nickels.
Same kind of thing. I know a guy that used to keep his miniatures collection in pistol cases.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody smashed into his car to steal all the gun cases.
Well, I have an exact opposite story. You know, I parked on that street next to the war zone, right?
Yeah.
And this big black guy came out and like was like this on the curb.
Yeah.
I opened my trunk. What do you see? Gun cases. And he like looked, and I took 2 gun cases and went into the war zone. My car was still there.
I love the wars.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, we don't have an appointment or anything.
I can always knock on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. One other thing I want to mention. I think you guys have sense trouble, right?
Oh,
Yeah, I do.
You don't need to spend anything. Just
You just know.
you just notice as you're walking up on the house, the backyard, or the garden, as they call it, has a brick fence all the way around it. A brick wall, more accurately. It's about 14 feet tall.
That is unusual.
That is genuinely unusual. Yeah.
Normally when you have a brick wall taller than the home.
Well, the home is 2 stories.
Oh, okay.
So it's the house is taller than that, but
Still, it's...
yeah, no one's going to accidentally look in on their backyard.
Well, there's got to be taller buildings around that can see down.
You would think so, but there's a lot of trees around here. And in fact,
I can climb a tree.
you would have to climb a tree to get a look into their backyard.
So do we knock on the door, or would you tree climb it first?
I don't know.
I guess he's knocking.
Sounds like you're knocking. Are you tree climbing while he's knocking?
No, I'll go to the door too.
All right. And you're going in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, after breakfast or something, so it's not ungodly in the morning.
No, probably like 9:30-ish.
Yeah, we'll say that.
All right. After a knock, a woman comes to the door. And you hear, it's a woman based on the voice. The door just opens. Yay much. You see a chain. Yes, how can I help you?
Well, good evening, lass. We're looking for a Mr. Shipley.
You probably mean my son. Are you interested in his artwork?
We are indeed.
Oh, well, very good. You're interested in purchasing?
Oh, that's why we're here.
Wonderful, wonderful. Please, please, come in. Just a moment. You hear the click and rattle and of the chain shifting. The door opens up, and you see an elderly woman. Looks to be, well, I say elderly, but she's probably in her late 60s, kind of heavy set. Hair is under a bonnet, and she's wearing a pink housecoat. And she says, well, Miles is upstairs right now. He's working in his studio. You can just show yourselves up. She points to the staircase right to the right of the doorway. Leads up. You want to go up both flights, all right? You see...
Any artwork hanging on the wall?
There is some artwork hanging on the wall. It's mostly prints, though. Famous prints, but prints classical artwork.
Doesn't look like his stuff.
You recognize the artwork, and no, it's nothing of his.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am.
Of course, of course. Do you need anything? Can I bring you up some pot of tea?
That would be it.
And I do have to mention that there's kind of an odd smell about the house as you go in. Do either of you have biology?
No.
Does anyone have exobiology?
I do not.
But we're about to be educated, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want some stew.
Tentacle stew.
Yeah.
There's kind of a odd musty smell in the air. You can't quite place it.
Does it smell like a museum?
It does not smell like a museum. It's a bit more humid than you would normally expect a museum to smell or feel.
He's growing shadows.
Stop giving him ideas.
Yes, because I need that.
I just read The Mountains of Madness this weekend, so.
The first time?
No, I've read it years and years ago, but.
It's another Beyond the Mountains of Madness. It's another fantastic campaign.
Really?
I wouldn't mind running that again someday either, but
I've never read through it, but I've read Mountains of Madness 5 or 6 times.
partway through the adventure, you're supposed to read the book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys get up to the landing and turn to the left, and there's another staircase, this brief hallway, and then another stair leading up.
Let's check out the hallway
Okay.
before we get to the top, right?
At the top of the stairs, there's a door to your right. There's another door ahead of you, and then a door to the left. And then after you turn around and walk past the stairway you came up, toward the next stairway going up, there's another door on the left.
Try the door on the left. Another door on the left. The second one.
The second one?
Yeah.
So there was the door on the right, the door straight ahead, the door to the left, and then the second one on the left, kind of behind the staircase.
Yeah, that sounds like a good one.
All right. Yeah, you go to try that one, and it is locked.
Okay, turn to the right, try the next one.
Okay.
And not noisily, just...
Yeah, no, quietly checking the
Are you
doors.
looking for anything particular, lad?
Why not look around before we get to the top of the stairs?
Speaking of looking around, I'll make sure she isn't coming up the stairs while you're doing this.
It's a bedroom. Once you open it up, it doesn't look like it's currently in use. It's kind of dusty. There's
No art on the walls.
there is no artwork on the walls. in
That's
here.
all I'm really looking for.
Sure.
Try
Okay.
the next door.
Another bedroom. This one actually is also dusty. Again, doesn't look like it's been used much. There is a neatly made bed in here, double bed in here.
And the last door.
The last unlocked door has another bedroom, and again, neatly made bed in here, a little dusty.
They're all empty. I guess we'll go upstairs.
All right.
You're not going to try and force the locked door?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, I do have lock picking, but I'm not going to spend time. The lady will end up coming upstairs, and
Yeah. There's no reason to.
it'll
right now.
ruin the whole initial encounter.
At the moment, all we know is that he paints weird pictures. Hopefully that's all.
And stores them under the stairs.
All right. So you give a knock, and a man comes and says, you hear a man's voice from inside. Yes, mother? What is it now?
Oh, lad, sorry about this. Your mother let us in. We were looking to meet the man who was making such unique artwork.
Oh, yes, of course. You hear a deadbolt turn, and the door opens. And beyond him, you see a small room. It looks to be about maybe 15 by 15. And it's just wide open room there's a chair, an easel mounted on it. You see there's a skylight up above, but it's been painted black from the inside. The walls are completely white. There's a canvas on the easel that's facing away from the doorway. You can't see it as you first come in. And then there's a table off to the side with assorted art supplies on it.
So we've been spared of looking at the painting.
And there is a locked... You see a closet to the right, and there's a big padlock hanging on the closet door.
Good morning to you.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. How are you today? Pleasure to meet you. Thanks so much for coming.
So, Mr. Shipley.
Yes. You are Father?
I'm Father Cecil Sullivan, and this here is my friend Sans.
So good to meet both of you. I guess you wanted to come and see the paintings?
Among other things, yes.
All right. Just one moment. And he walks over to the side, and he's got a lot of paintings that are available, and he pulls out a few for you to look at. And I'm just going to describe them as you're taking a look at them. The first one is, you know what? I think
It's so horrible, it's undescribable.
I think I might actually have some of these pieces. Hold on a second. I forgot that
We get handouts for this?
there might be.
This side quest?
I thought I remembered seeing some, and I apologize for wasting the time searching if there aren't. No, I guess there aren't. I thought there were. So, the first one that you see is an alchemist's lab, and you see a person working at a scientific bench who looks reptilian in cast, and he's looks like, you see these, all these different bottles and tubes bubbling away as he's bent over a table, and he's holding a scalpel, and it looks like he's in the midst of dissecting something.
We can't tell what it is.
There's blood spatter all over the place. You can tell it's probably something mammalian, but you can't make out more than that.
We could ask the artist.
You absolutely can.
I will. What is the guy dissecting in the picture?
I don't know. That's the true mystery of it all. I saw this in my dream, and it has haunted me ever since, but I don't know what it is. Can you tell me what it is? I really want to know.
Well, I know somebody that knows hypnosis, but she's not here right now.
Oh, I don't believe in hypnosis.
If you're a willing subject, we can...
Oh, I'm not willing.
Okay. Never mind.
Well, lad, you say you get your inspiration from dreams.
Yes. But I don't choose the dreams. The dreams choose me.
The dreams choose you, huh?
Yes.
And from what I've read about you, you were just an average bloke before
I started having the dreams. Yes. Yes, the dreams. They're the true secret to it all. There is no secret. There are only the dreams. They reveal it all.
When did you start having your dreams?
Oh. It's been a few months now. But I don't want to talk about that.
How many pieces of art have you sold?
Oh. At least 34. Did you want to see the rest of them?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Make a stability check.
The next canvas he shows you. By the way, assess honesty. Anybody have that?
I do. I have
You
a
don't
lot
need to
of it.
roll. He was lying when he says he doesn't know
About dreams?
about where the
About
dreams come
what?
from.
Oh, I thought about what the thing was being dissected.
No, that you were pretty sure he was telling the truth
Okay.
about. The question about where the dreams come from or why they started is a separate one, though.
I have a lot of people who are similarly inclined as you as far as artists go, and they also draw from their dreams.
Not my dreams, though. My dreams are my dreams. They're not their dreams.
I'm sure they are, sir. What I'm saying is it perhaps something you eat or something you drink that I'm going to drop the other chance. Something you eat or drink that
These are
helps
my
you.
dreams, not their dreams.
And
You can't have my dreams. You can buy my paintings, but you can't have my dreams.
Can I appraise what I think the value of is, like what skill level he is at on his artwork?
You think he's a talented artist. There's no question in your mind about that. But talented artists are a dime a dozen, right? There's lots of talented artists starving in the streets right now.
I would
You
agree
know
with that.
several of them. But the question as to whether you think his art has captured some part of the modern imagination, but you don't know if that'll have staying power to have true value over the long haul. Next painting you look at shows a scene in ancient Egypt. There's a golden chariot passing through this huge crowd of people, and all of the people have fallen to their knees, revering the chariot or the person riding it. And you see that there's a pharaoh, a person you presume to be a pharaoh's garb, riding the chariot, dressed in black and gold robes. His head is turned so that you cannot see his face. And there are two people mounted on spikes on the back of the chariot, and their viscera hang down, and there's a pack of jackals following behind the chariot, devouring those entrails. The next painting is a woodland scene. There's a yellow moon shining down through the trees and dark branches, and there's a crowd of naked people dancing around a bonfire in the center of the woods.
So does the moon appear to be like our moon, or a moon from another planet?
The art is not sufficiently realistic for you to be able to answer that. You would have assumed it was Earth's moon. And in the middle of the bonfire, there is a massive goat-headed person standing with its arms raised in the middle of the fire. The next one shows a man being cut open with a silver dagger. The person doing the cutting is wearing a black robe, and there's carvings on the chest of the person who's being cut open, which is sculpted with the dagger, presumably. And there's blood there, and as you're looking at these carvings, they kind of almost seem to move before your eyes. It's kind of unsettling. It's extremely unsettling.
What was his first name again?
Miles Shipley. The next one is a scene of a mountain. A massive, towering mountain. And there's this monstrous creature which has a head covered in tentacles, and the tentacles drip blood rising over that massive mountain. And there's a temple nearby, and in front of the temple you see all these people kneeling and raising their arms as they're all facing that huge demonic being. And from each of these people that are kneeling and praying, you see a red tongue dangling from their foreheads.
I'm going to ask him if he knows where that mountain is.
It was in my dreams. My dreams, not your dreams.
Well, I don't want your dreams. I just
Good, because they're mine. You can't have them.
So
How much for the painting of the mountain?
Well, I usually ask people to make an offer.
If that's what you usually do. How about you do something unusual and tell us what you would like for it?
Oh, that's what I was looking for. I knew I'd seen these somewhere. So see, here we've got the person doing the dissecting, and the tentacles and the temple, and the person being cut open, and the flames with the goat head, and the Egyptian scene.
Cool.
Always with the tentacles, these people.
Well, I could let that one go for 150 pounds.
Sounds like a lot to me.
It does. I mean, without hearing more about the dream from which this came from.
Well, what more do you want to know?
Well, you have an amazing imagination.
It's not imagination. It's the dreams.
You have an amazing dream.
I do. Yes, I do. They're my dreams.
And they very recently came to you.
Well, they've come to me recently. Yes, yes. They've revealed so much.
And you don't know how they started coming to you so recently.
No, I don't know. Really, I don't. As he says that, the door opens, and his mother, presumably, comes walking in. She's hunched over. She's carrying a basket hanging off of one arm, kind of like a carpet bag type basket. You recognize it as kind somebody would usually use if they were carrying like a big knitting project. And you see wool and unfinished knitting sticking up from the top of it. And that's over her arm. And then in her arm, she's carrying a little tea tray. And there are 3 teacups and full tea service and a pot resting on that. And she walks over to the side table, sets it down. Dears, here's that tea I promised you. Please help yourselves. I'll head back downstairs. Please don't crack my china. I very much appreciate it if you take good care with it. Is there anything else that I can get for you?
No, no, Mom. That's
Thank you so much, Father. And then Miles, you're giving them a fair deal, aren't you? Oh, Mother, please don't tell me how to conduct business. Oh, Miles, as long as you're living under my roof, you will listen to me. Give the priest a good deal. Yes, Mother.
You have a wise mother there.
Well, Father, what can the church afford fairly?
I would say 70 pounds.
For 70 pounds, I can part with that work.
Although
I would have certainly appreciated, though, if you would do me the favor of, say, mention my works the next time you're in the pulpit and see if it might draw some others to come see them.
probably not from the pulpit, but I do know of other people that I will definitely send your way.
That would be perfectly acceptable then, Father.
Although I would like to talk to you more about these dreams. According to some of the texts, God speaks to us while we sleep.
Oh, I'm sure someone's speaking to me.
But you don't know who?
I don't know who at all. No, I definitely do not know.
It could be
Is he
him.
lying about that?
Oh yeah, he's lying about that.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Yeah.
Well, I figure we could take that painting and see if we could match it up to the other images we have of Kenya, you know. That's what I'm thinking.
You know,
Take it
there's-
to the fair, you know, hold it up.
There's a fascinating article that I have read about. I'm trying to approach this delicately. Hold on a second. Let me think about this. I didn't say that. You know, son, if you wanted to confess about these dreams, I'm more than willing to hear.
Do you have reassurance?
Tons of it.
Do you want to spend a point of reassurance?
Yeah.
But does he believe what he's doing is wrong, is the question. Is there anything to confess?
Normally, disturbing dreams show a disturbing psyche. And that's
Quite clear.
But he's so
Normally
disturbed that he doesn't
guilt-related.
realize.
You know something. I know.
Enough to
He knows
lie
something.
about it, yeah.
He walks over.
He tore the tag off a mattress. Really, it's terrible about
He walks over to the door, to the stairway leading up, and he pushes his ear up against it and listens. And he's making small talk as he does this. He says, as he's going over there, "Oh, Father, I'm sure that you are a good and honest man, and yes, that is a very generous offer. We'll definitely see that we can work something." And he's listening very intently as he says this. And then he throws the deadbolt. And he goes back over to you. And,
I have my hand in my coat pocket at that point,
okay.
just in case.
Sure. Father, I do have something I need to confess. I have many things to confess, Father.
Be at peace and tell me.
I don't know if I can ever truly be at peace. You see, it's about my mother. That's not my mother out there.
Say that again, son.
That's not my mother.
Who drank the tea? That's what I want to know.
I didn't drink any of the tea, that's for sure.
And you're
Who
about
is
to
it then?
sip the tea. What?
She's not human.
So we've gone from.
And he points towards the painting with the lizard man on it.
Are you going to volunteer to go see what he's currently looking at? Would you want to roll for it?
I'll go around and
On the canvas is actually just pencil sketches right
just
now.
sketches.
It's still at an early stage.
so your mother is
Shh,
a
don't say it.
when does she
When she eats. Only when she eats. I'm gonna not whisper as quietly in case the microphone isn't picking it up. And sometimes when she lays out in the backyard.
Ew. On a flat rock.
and did start happening a few months ago?
When it came, it brought the medicine.
What medicine?
Oh, the medicine. The medicine that gives the visions, that gives the dreams, that gives my dreams. Yes, the medicine is what gives my dreams. That's what makes the painting possible. Without the medicine, I couldn't paint this well. But I can paint this well because I get the medicine. And that's why it's my medicine and my dreams. And do you want to see my newest painting? Let's go see the newest painting. He goes over to the closet that's padlocked. And he's rifling through his pocket and he pulls out a key and opens the padlock. Samus, get ready to run. And he opens the closet.
Not going to be able to jump out the window. How new are the bars?
So there's no windows here except for the skylight.
Skylight's
Okay.
blacked out.
And the skylight is blacked out, and this is a 12-foot ceiling.
Okay.
And we're just deadbolted it. At least the deadbolt on this side of the door.
It is on this side of the door. That's the good news.
Yes.
And he pulls out an easel and a canvas. And this is pretty large canvas. This is probably about 3 feet by about 5 feet. And there's a sheet over it. And he's struggling to carry this easel and this canvas out. And the canvas, the sheet that's over the canvas looks filthy. There's all kinds of stains on it. And is that forensic skill?
Yes.
There is.
Yeah, who has that?
Probably
I
not
do.
me.
Let me see if I can find this. Nope, not a thing
Okay,
in it.
all right. There's a lot of brown stains on that
Ew.
sheet that he's carrying out.
I've been around a battlefield enough.
You've been around a battlefield enough, but somehow you didn't buy forensics.
It's definitely organic though.
It's definitely organic. Yes, yes, it is.
I have an idea. Are there any, like... I'm trying to think of what an artist would have that would be heavy enough to break a glass window. Are there any... like clay or ceramic pots, or are all of his jars and stuff made out of glass?
Oh, that'd be some ceramics.
I also have a Colt 1911 automatic in my coat pocket.
Yeah, but I don't.
But there's some of his painting is done with knives, so
Yeah.
there's
Okay, I'll grab something.
sure. Okay. And he goes, "Are you ready to see it?"
Not really, but we're gonna see it anyway.
All right. He pulls the sheet back, and you both see the work that's currently in progress. And
Is it like Starry Night with tentacles coming out of the sky?
no, it's not.
It's a stability roll I'm taking.
We're gonna get to that in a moment.
Oh, fantastic.
So It's clearly a work in progress. You can see the outer edges of the canvas are completely free of any kind of paint or even pencil. And around, then moving in from that, there's a lot of pencil sketches. But the center of it, you can see that it's a swamp area. And there's all of these ancient, like, kinds of palm trees that you would picture in a dinosaur movie.
Jurassic Park, yeah.
Very much so. And right in amidst these trees, there's a swamp with a flowing river. And right in front of that river, you see there's all of these, well, the river is full of serpents that are slithering around in the river. And there's an island in the midst of this. And on the island, there's a stone altar. And do either of you have archaeology?
I do not.
Nope.
Okay.
Bummer.
Well, we could take the painting once we have to kill this guy.
And neither of you have biology, do you?
No.
Okay. And as you're looking at it, just as your eyes have a hard time focusing on it at first, but then all of a sudden, it takes on this three-dimensional appearance, and you see that the snakes are starting to move, and the water is beginning to flow and ripple, and the plants and trees are swaying in the breeze, and the altar begins to glow, and each of you need to make a stability roll.
I'm going to add 1 point.
Oh, that's
Did you want to spend any points on that?
It
No, I
didn't
already
matter how
rolled.
many points you spent.
Yeah.
He would have failed anyway. I'm going to spend... I'm
All
at
of
7.
them.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I'll spend 1.
All right.
6.
All right.
Helped
You-
by the map of London.
Feel that you're sort of compelled to stare at this painting, and you have a very hard time looking away from it, and you feel that it's drawing you in deeper, just some kind of spiritual thing that it's just a really compelling piece, and it resonates with your soul.
I failed horribly.
Please
Well,
be more specific.
He rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1, so this heresy, which I'm seeing in front of me, is probably going to
Luckily,
make me
there's no 0.
do
on
2
that
things.
die.
1, scream in terror, or 2, instantly attack.
Neither, because it's much more interesting than that.
Oh, great.
You're going
You know
over
how I
the
mentioned
painting.
you were being felt that you were being pulled in? You physically are pulled in, and you are suddenly standing atop the stone altar.
Oh, fantastic.
And you look around, and there are all of these swarms of snakes.
Well, during my next action, I'm going to break the skylight
Okay.
and hope that does something.
You see Shipley just collapse to the ground, cackling hysterically, uncontrollably flailing his arms and legs as though he has hit some kind of...
Well, as much as I
Cultist
feel like
nirvana.
joining him, because that would be just so great, I'm going to break the window anyway.
All right, yeah, you break the window, no problem. Like I said, it's a skylight.
Sun comes in. Yeah.
Sun comes in. Yep.
Any results?
No.
No, that's
The
not-
sun comes in.
Guess
He's
you're
cackling
I guess you're on your
hysterically.
own.
You see Father Sully inside the painting.
I wait.
You kind of see up in the sky.
Yeah. Oh, like
Giant
Yeah.
Samus.
really, I have no idea what I would do at this point.
Well, you see, if
Freaking out is the only thing.
I cut her,
Go ahead and
destroy the painting.
give me another stability roll. Tell me if you want to spend points
Yeah,
on
I'll
it.
spend a couple of points. I'll spend 2 on this one.
All right.
I need to get out of the painting, hopefully. 7.
All right, good.
Did I lose stability when I got sucked in?
No, that was what that check was for.
Oh.
To see how much stability and sanity you would lose
Oh.
for getting sucked in. So apparently, getting sucked into a painting is not something that bothers the good father.
Ah. That was weird. But so a 7.
You've rationalized it as like hypnosis created by these swirling colors
And the tea.
and the tea.
We didn't drink it.
So you think.
This does give credence to the whole "my mom's a monster" thing.
Throw mama from the train.
More like pistol whip her son and then go talk to her
Talk.
with a gun.
So yeah, you shattered the window. Obviously, that made a fair bit of noise.
Yeah. The door's locked.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that the sunlight would have some effect.
A reasonable hope, but it does
was
not
a
appear to have
reasonable
had any effect. You do hear footsteps on the stairs now, though.
All right, just to clear my head here. Sucked into a painting,
Mhm.
pulled back out. Is that what
No,
happened?
no. You're
I'm
still in the
there.
painting.
But
You're-
I'm
but
not
you're-
as freaked out
But
about
you're
being inside
okay
this
about
Yeah.
being in the
Yeah.
painting.
Okay. I'm in a zen place right now. for
Yeah.
some reason.
It's not the weirdest thing that's happened to you this week.
Does it feel as though I could jump out of this?
You don't see how you would be able to do that.
Okay. I'm going to be useless to you, so.
Okay,
Break the altar.
I'm going to grab brown paint.
Sure.
Brown seems like an efficient color, and I'm going to like paint over the serpents in the painting.
Sure.
Is he physically inside the painting?
Mhm.
Like, can you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's surrounded by a sea of serpents. I'm gonna use brown paint and paint over the serpents. This is going to be fun. You're just not there.
Or try cutting the painting?
Well, but that could be a
You're like
bad
the
thing.
Bob Ross of hobos.
I'm having happy trees.
Sure. Yeah, you grab some brown paint and make a happy accident on the painting. Nothing seems to be happening from your perspective.
What is happening in my perspective out of curiosity?
the
I'm standing
snakes-
on this altar. And
You're
I see
standing on the
snakes.
altar. You see the snakes on the ground around you, and the water. It's really hot and humid here, by the way. I mean, you came out of February London, which was
Cool.
not warm. The house was quite warm, but it's probably 105 degrees Fahrenheit with 98% humidity. You're in the middle of an equatorial swamp.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's still looking around in a panic in the painting. You
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
that.
I see.
He
that.
doesn't seem to have reacted to your brown painting.
Okay. What is in the second room? You said there was a smaller room.
That's where this painting came out.
Oh, that's where the painting
yeah.
came out.
That's you open the padlock.
So there's no windows or anything in there.
it's a little
either.
closet.
So the only way out is up.
Oh, well, there's the stairs.
No, that's not a good way out. Okay. I'll just start throwing chairs and easels and piling stuff up in the center of the room and see how this the happy, ecstatic, crazy guy reacts.
Okay.
If I have to deal with them, I'll deal with them, but I'm not going to do anything to him unless I have to.
All right. What is your end goal? You're just trying to get out the window?
The skylight, that's right.
All
I
right.
plan on taking the painting with me at the end, once I have a sufficient amount of stuff piled up.
Yeah, give me an athletics roll. Tell me if you're spending points on this.
I'll spend a point.
Sure.
I got a 3 total.
You get some stuff piled up, but you're not able to reach the skylight.
Okay.
There isn't anything else to add to the pile.
Do I hear what's going on outside of this painting?
Faintly, you hear the sounds of clambering.
But I can kind of, like you were saying, I could see.
There was like a cloud up in the sky that you could kind of see this vision through.
I'm going to start shooting.
You're gonna start what?
I'm going to shoot at the cloud.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to put a round into the cloud and see if that does it.
All right. A bullet comes whipping out of the painting, and
Well, I'm glad I'm not standing in front of it. Okay. I have another idea. This
All
is
right.
a bad idea. So the guy that's like on the floor,
Yeah.
I'm gonna push him into the painting. I'm sure that will be an athletics roll, but hey, why not? I don't plan on going into the painting myself.
how
If he's-
into it?
Well, he's standing right. He's on
He's
his
laying
knees.
on the ground.
Oh, he's
yeah,
laying on
he's
the
laying on the ground, flailing around like a 4-year-old throwing a temper tantrum. But it's clearly happy ecstasy, not upset.
Yeah. Like I said, I'd like to join him, but are there any other objects in that room where the painting came out of? The door's still open, right?
The door is open. No, there is nothing else in
Nothing else
there.
in there?
Maybe Yeah, no. I was going to say some tubes of paint, but the fact of the matter is there's a lot of tubes of paint around here.
Yeah. I will take the tarp and put it back over the painting.
Okay. That cloud suddenly turned white.
Your bullet had an effect.
As you do that, Shipley sits up and he looks at you. You're still here. Why aren't you there? And he points to the painting.
I don't know.
Did you look at it?
I did.
Well, look again! And he goes and pulls the tarp off of it.
Okay. I push him in. Now he's I'm sure while he's standing up, fiddling around.
You shove him into it, but he bumps into it like it's a painting.
That's a great idea, though.
It is a great idea.
I don't hear them speaking.
You see the cloud again.
You don't hear them.
For some reason, I'm perfectly okay being in here. So
I'm okay not
clearly
being in
impotent
there.
as I am about doing anything.
You do hear some sounds, though. Kind of a hissing sound, which isn't surprising given the number of snakes.
Right.
But this hissing sound seems a bit deeper in pitch, like you might expect from a very, very large snake. And as you listen, you realize that's not coming from just one throat, but rather,
Multiple.
you're guessing 7 or 8.
Cool. All right.
Okay. I'm going to take my brown paint.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to paint a ladder in the sky.
Uh-huh.
Like from the island up into the...
That is my painting! You cannot do that! And he starts to try and grab the brush from you.
Okay.
Have you murdered anybody yet?
I have. I killed 2 people escaping the Juju house.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Give me a scuffling roll.
So you're not unbloody.
No, I'm not.
Nobody's hands are clean.
But I don't
Tell me if you're spending
initiate.
points.
I'll spend a point.
All right.
I'm by myself, so points are good. 6.
6. All right. You easily overpower him and get the...
So I'm keeping him off of one hand, and I'm drawing a ladder with the other.
Okay. You have successfully painted a ladder in the sky of the painting.
Okay. This is my contribution to art.
You said you had art history, so
I did.
it's a fairly solid-looking ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has no
I actually have
effect.
the art skill too.
Has absolutely no effect though on
Yeah.
That's
Well,
correct.
I don't have the magic paint, nor the magic brush, nor the drugs.
Yeah.
So my third option is to drink the tea. You see.
But go ahead, as you're looking at the painting more closely to do this, go ahead and give me another stability check.
Okay. I'll spend a point again.
All right.
That'll get me down to 5.
Okay.
A 2.
With the points
Yeah. I'll join them.
Suddenly, you're inside the painting too.
Yay!
But you're holding a paintbrush.
Yeah.
And a jar of brown paint.
It's like a SpongeBob episode.
It kind of is.
Doodlebug.
Go ahead and give me a stability roll. Tell me
I'll
if you're
spend a
spending
point.
points.
There's no reason not to. 7.
All
I
right.
don't mind this at
Again,
all.
you don't mind this at all.
Here, would you like a
Well, this
brush?
tiny brick.
Start performing last rites on himself. I don't see how we're going to get out of this.
Well, our buddies know where we went. I mean, we know where they went, so...
I grab the brown paint from him,
Yeah.
and I'll throw it at that cloud. Does that do anything except go up into the air and then come back down?
That's pretty much what it does. Because, clouds
Are way up there.
really high.
Right,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're fucked.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay.
I mean, We have a bunch of guttural snake noises coming around us, so probably gonna die horribly very soon.
That could be.
Or you can always hide. I think you should destroy the altar.
It's a stone altar. I forgot my dynamite.
Ah.
My sledgehammer.
Well, what is your strategy at this point?
I really don't have one, to be honest. Like,
Well, I
getting
take a
sucked
look
into
around. Are there
Well, I
any?
mean, there's tons of snakes all around us.
Yeah.
For one. We're
Well-
standing on top of an altar, and I heard several hissing, like from something large.
Looking off into the distance through the woods, you see that there's a cave. And looking at that cave, you see 6 or 7 snake people coming out of the cave toward you.
So we don't want to go there.
No. And we don't want to stay here.
No. So let's go the opposite direction in which those snake people are coming.
What's the shortest distance to the shore? Aren't we on an island?
You're on a small island.
Yeah.
Like,
So what's the shortest distance?
when I say small, I mean like 12 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2 steps any direction.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
and then it's river snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we make a stand here.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any fire. That would be another idea. Light something on fire.
I'll give you a knife.
I already have a knife.
Well then, I'll hold on to that myself.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just make our stand here.
I mean,
I don't see any other options. Because, me and snakes and poison don't get along very well. I didn't bring my my anti-venom kit or...
That's a good question. Are they poisonous snakes?
we would have no idea, to be honest.
Oh, that's what the biology.
yeah, we don't have
Yeah.
biology, that's right.
All we know is that we're in an equatorial frickin' swamp.
Do either of you have Cthulhu Mythos?
I do.
I
I
don't.
have 2 points of it.
You have 2 points.
Yes.
Do you want to spend a point of it?
Yeah, if it saves my bacon, why not?
Might not save your bacon, but
Well, at least know what's going to kill
Yeah,
me.
Does-
you know how horrible your death will be.
Yes.
To what god it will be sacrificed to.
You recognize the people coming towards you as serpent people. Serpent people lived on Earth in the Permian era, many million years ago, long before the advent of the first human.
Cool. So the people with the nameless city.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
What you managed to do, you're pretty sure, was travel through a time gate.
So if we sleep for 1,000,000 years, we'll wake up.
Oh, you can write yourself a letter that says "Don't go" to this dude's house.
And send it in the mail.
Yes.
And postmark it.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a Doctor Who episode?
Yes.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
No, I think it was a Doctor Who
Okay.
episode.
That's funny.
Um,
Carve it in the stone's altar.
But I would have to go and travel to that stone altar before I got stuck into the painting, which I don't remember doing.
But if you're a time traveler, it's irrelevant when.
We're getting to theoretical stuff here. At the moment, we're probably going to die millions of years
no,
before
maybe
we're born.
we are serpent gods. We are gods of the serpents. We just have to give confidence and pretend that we're in charge and learn how to speak snake. And we have
Very easy to do in the next
and we
6
have a
months.
few minutes. We have a few minutes to prepare ourselves.
if you would like to spend a point of Cthulhu Mythos,
Another one?
mm-hmm,
Okay.
I will let you make a die roll to see if you can spontaneously cast magic to reverse the time gate.
Whoa.
I think that's a... Alright, so it comes down to a die roll
Mm-hmm.
for the fate of us two.
And you can spend stability on this roll.
All right.
Or
well,
sanity. I'll let you spend sanity as well.
Ooh. We'll go with I'll go with 3 points of stability.
All right.
That would bring us up to 6.
All right. Father drops to his knees and starts praying. And you've heard this a lot. He
Yeah.
prays all the time. But normally, when he prays, you hear him start rattling off Jesus and Mary and various saints' names.
So I'm about to know what his true God is.
He says some multisyllabic names that you've never heard before. And as he finishes his prayer, you're suddenly back in the attic of Shipley's house, in front of a very surprised looking Shipley.
Not as surprised it's going to be in a second.
Well, the knife. Obviously, the first thing I do with the knife that I had out for the snakes is to cut the painting.
Cut the painting? Okay, I thought you were going to cut the artist.
No.
That's what he's going to do.
I'm going to use the butt of my gun and smack him in the face.
All right. You don't need to make a roll to cut the painting, but you do need to make a roll with weapons
Okay.
to subdue the artist.
I'll spend a point of weapons. Give me a 3.
All right. You take a swing at him and you miss.
I'll just go with punching him then.
All right, give me a scuffling.
I'll spend a point in that too. This gives me a 4.
All right. You go to punch him, and this is a wiry little artist, apparently, because as you go to do that, he swings back and jabs you in the shoulder with the end of this big wooden paintbrush. And
Ouch.
it hurts. Yeah, it actually does 2 points of health damage. It's sticking out of your shoulder. And he after he does that, he turns and goes running down the attic stairs. And
I don't think he'll run as fast as one of my friends.
and he
You have
shouts
to unlock the door first.
out, "Sathasa!" He unlocked the door while you guys were in the painting.
I'm going to put a round in him.
All right.
You said what? You said the Satha?
Yeah, I've heard that name before. She was
Yeah.
somewhere.
Mustafa. He's talking to me.
I'll miss him though.
All right.
Oh,
I'm cutting the painting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
you
giving chase.
shredded the painting.
He shoved it, put me in a painting and threw something in my shoulder. Yeah, he's dead.
Okay.
In my eyes, he's gonna be dead. So does Mom.
All right.
What?
All right. You come rushing down the stairs,
You guys go
and
anywhere.
you get to that hallway, right, between the upper stairwell and the lower stairwell. You're still slicing up the painting, and you see Shipley running from you, and then you see his mother there in her house coat and her carrying her bag of knitting, and she turns and looks at you, and then she does this and pulls back the skin on her body and reveals this massive serpent people head and body, just like the ones you just saw.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and give me a stability check.
Oh, I'm running low on these. I'll spend a point though
All right.
for a 3.
Okay. You're going to lose a point of sanity because for some reason, in spite of the fact you just saw some, you weren't expecting to see one step out of human skin. And it moves in to attack you. Go ahead and take your shot while it comes
I'm gonna
into.
spend 3 points of firearms. I need this
All
to
right.
connect. Ooh, 8.
8. That is going to hit. Go ahead and give me the damage on that. You're at point blank.
You're definitely not going to be well in Scotland.
So I'll hit it directly in the chest, and it does. Well, I rolled a 1 for the damage. I don't know what point blank does.
Well, point blank's +2, and you get another +2 for the gun. There's a lot of gunshots going off here in the suburbs
Yes, it is.
inside the building, but the building does have some protection, so.
And a 14-foot brick wall around it, so that,
Yeah.
that helps.
There's that too. Yeah. All right. Ah, would you look at that? Okay. You put a bullet where
Right in the chest.
right in the chest, center of mass, and the snake person goes down.
Is the sun guy still?
He's
Running
down the next staircase.
I gotta stop him before he gets outside the house.
All right.
So, down the
Taking a
staircase.
shot. Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna spend 2 more points.
8.
8.
Give me the damage roll.
I will also hit him in the center mass for 3 on my roll plus, so that's 5, and I don't know what else.
Yeah, he goes down as well.
All right.
Kids.
Are you going to do anything further to desecrate these corpses to make sure they stay down?
Well,
Burn it
I'm
down.
definitely gonna.
You don't have your magic gold bar.
What I do have though is a knife, and that would definitely go into the eye socket of a serpent person pretty easily.
Sure.
So.
All right.
So while all of that's going on,
You are
I
cutting this
totally
painting into
destroyed
really
it.
small
That's right.
pieces.
That's
Yes. And you make your way down the stairway.
I'm going to grab all the paintings, though.
Sure.
Not just the mountain one. I figured
All right.
why not take the other 3 off?
Sure. Yeah. After you kill an artist, it's always a good idea to
I didn't kill
secure his
anybody.
just as a group, because his artwork becomes much more valuable
That's
after
right.
he's dead.
And I have art history, so I know this.
How much commotion
Sounds like a good investment
have we
strategy.
stirred up in this?
Start killing artists.
In this house,
Not in this house, but do I hear people screaming in the streets and stuff?
well, you've been kind of focused on chopping
killing
up the
things.
body.
Yeah. At least putting a knife through his
Yeah.
face, yeah.
You do hear some noises coming from outside. And you hear a knock on the door downstairs. Or a knock on the door. And
put on
when
the
you get
mom's
downstairs carrying your stack of paintings, you get to that first landing and you find Butcher Father Sully carving up a snake person. There's ichor and blood everywhere, and Father's covered in it. And looking to the right down the next staircase, sprawled at the bottom of the staircase, you see Shipley looking quite dead with a rather large bullet wound in the middle of his back.
Well, there's the back door into the 14-foot dungeon yard. That's better than the front door. That's my suggestion. We lock the back door.
I kind of want to see what else is in this house.
I do too. I don't mind getting sucked into a second time gates. Or some other funness that I can imagine.
Come back later is what you're suggesting.
Yeah.
Well, there is also a fresh woman's skin suit on the ground.
Yeah.
There
Put it
is.
on.
Yeah.
And you can say,
Mrs.
everything is
Doubtfire.
fine. No problems here.
That's just sick.
With some tea, Teddy. If I had $1 for every time I needed an old lady's skin suit.
All right, well, you guys are considering your options. Why don't we move to Scotland Yard
Yeah.
All right.
in wake of the party's most recent homicides? Yes.
They're not homicides. Those weren't human.
One of them was.
Oh,
that's
what?
true. Yeah,
He was just a poor boy
he had
with
it
a
coming.
blizzard mom. I got
Was a
blizzard
poor boy,
mom.
nobody
Happy
loved him.
Mother's Day.
From a poor family.
Yeah.
All right.
She won't be anything for Mother's Day.
All right. So Scotland Yard.
Scotland Yard. What's your strategy?
Walking in and going to a receptionist and asking for Investigator Barrington.
Inspector.
Inspector.
Do you have a cop talk?
I do.
Do you want to spend a point of cop talk?
Sure.
Is it British cop talk?
It's universal.
You head in and make it a point to not show the private investigator part of your badge and just diplomatically introduce yourself as investigator Declan Steele from Boston, following up on a lead.
Exactly.
And
My
make
thumb's
it sound,
covering the private.
yeah,
Here you
make
go.
it sound very professional, and you are able to meet. You're able to get into Inspector Barrington's work area, which he has a desk, shared office space. And when you sit down at the desk, he looks up. He's got a desk that's just covered in folders. And he looks at you and says,
I hand him my card.
Inspector Steele and Mr. Ali export business? How are the two of you connected?
We're colleagues from New York.
I thought you were from Boston.
Well, Boston, New York. We met in Peru. Very long story. We're here to see you, though.
I'm a very busy man. What is this concerning?
Well, we think that a friend of ours, Jackson Elias.
Oh, yes, of course. I remember meeting
Maybe-
Jackson, a good man.
Yeah, two months ago or so.
Yes, he, well, I say a good man, but bit,
Eccentric.
sure, we'll call him eccentric. He, it's hard to believe, but he thought some crazy cult named the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh, some Egyptian death cult, he thought they were the ones behind all these Egyptian killings in town.
Inspector, our dear friend was murdered by a cult.
By a cult, you say?
Yes. Is there anybody else in this room?
Think of every police show ever where
You
you're
say
sitting in the,
black.
every detective has a desk amongst several other desks. It's pretty much that same
The
setup.
Brotherhood of what?
The Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh.
Do you think we could maybe talk a little bit more privately?
Look, there's nothing to it. I went and talked to Edward Gavignon at the Penn U Foundation after Jackson gave me that lead. Gavignon assured me there once was a Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh, apparently, but that was in ancient Egypt. There's nothing like that anymore. They died out thousands of years ago. There's no connection.
Who do you think is murdering Egyptians in London?
Well, that's really a police matter. I'm not anxious to go about that. I mean, but Jackson,
They are.
he was just an attention seeker. If a cult murdered, are you sure? Are you sure he's actually dead?
We are. We're friends with him. And we
Oh.
saw his body.
Oh, well
We
then.
actually witnessed the murder. So
Oh,
I believe that some of the people being murdered were foreigners in your great land. Isn't that a matter for Scotland Yard?
well, that is why I'm investigating this case. Yes.
He was a very dear friend. We would like to help if we can. We are most likely going to Egypt in the very near future, which is where I'm from. So as you see, I also have a personal interest in the ongoing case.
Do you have reassurance?
Yes.
Would you like to spend? a
I would
point of
love to. I don't think
reassurance?
I've ever spent a point in reassurance.
All right. So, but what you just said was very reassuring that you are personally invested in this, and that you're not, gave the implication at least that you weren't seeking any kind of personal glory,
Looky-loos.
but that you have, right, that you just have a genuine interest in solving this case. Well, let's step over to a conference room. Leads you over to a small room, obligatory mirrored wall. says, look, there have been 19 murders in this string over the last 3 years. And they all have a similar style. In all the cases, each victim suffered serious, blunt trauma to the head and torso, and then was ultimately killed by a spike driven into their heart. 17 of the 19 murders were all Egyptian nationals. That's why they became known as the Egyptian murders.
You said 16 out of 19 out of
17
19.
out of 19. One of the cases, there was a witness to the murder. Well, a witness who saw the victim before he passed on. And just before he died, he gasped the word Hotep. I checked that with Edward Gavignon. He said that's an ancient Egyptian word, meaning rest or peace.
I arch an eyebrow dramatically. I can't do it.
Mustafa, is that true? Is that what Hotep means?
Yes. The murderer, the witness saw the murder take place, or
Found the victim before he passed on.
what kind? Is the what is this? Are the spikes left in the bodies?
No. We suspect that they may be using a club with a spike in it. Wooden club with nails driven through it, perhaps. We have
What
not
would-
found a confirmed murder weapon, though.
What were the other two people murdered? The
Londoners.
Were they of Egyptian descent?
No.
Is there any particular day that you've been able to determine the death of the death?
You mean weekday?
Any day, like particular.
No, there
Day
was
of the
no
week.
established pattern.
So okay. Any particular, like, I mean, were any found like, you know, on a daily basis, or were they all separated evenly, or?
In terms of date, there wasn't a specific pattern.
The fiends that murdered Jackson only did the murders on the full moon. That is why we asked.
Ah,
Yeah.
fascinating. I haven't checked a calendar for that, but I don't believe there was
Do you
any.
have any possible?
Excuse me.
Do you have a cover sheet? I'm hesitant to ask you for the secret files, but we do want to track down the fiends who are responsible for these crimes. And as you may or may not know, these kind of things have been happening all over the world. And that seems to be triggered to the end of the last war.
The one thing I can say for certain is that all the victims did frequent the Blue Pyramid Club. We kept it under surveillance for a bit, but we weren't able to confirm anything about either a murderer or additional victims during the time we had it under surveillance.
Including the non-Egyptians?
Yes.
You know, we just arrived here 2 days ago. Are there a lot of non-Egyptians that frequent the Blue Pyramid?
It's considered excellent dining and excellent music and entertainment as well.
The
So.
couscous is to die for.
Oh. But
The kibbe is.
I did also interview a number of people with Egyptian ties, over the course of the months that I've been working this case. Few had anything of significant value, but there was a spice dealer who struck my interest. Her name was Zara Shafik. Zahra. Last name Shafik. I believe she has a connection to the Penhew Foundation, in fact. Let me see. Yes, her card.
Do I know who this person is?
You do not?
She's in London, not. She is from Egypt, you said?
Yes. I believe she imports spices from there. She had a tie to the Penhew Foundation, had worked with them at some point in the past. She also had heard of the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh.
What did she say about it?
She gave a similar story to the one Gavignon had, saying that they had existed at some point in the ancient past, but didn't anymore.
You didn't
I
find it?
kept an eye on her and had her tailed for a few days. She did go to the Blue Pyramid Club many times during that time.
Did you find it unusual that a spice dealer would know about the ancient Egyptian, long dead cult?
Don't all Egyptians know these things?
I don't know, do we?
I certainly thought so.
Some of us pack a nice lunch before we go to work. Some of us are involved with ancient cults.
Yeah.
And some of us are Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How old is this woman?
Don't remember her exact age, but I thought she was in her late 20s.
Is she still in London?
I assume she's still running her shop.
Where's the shop at?
It's on
the card.
Water Street in Soho.
Oh, on the card. I got you. Oh, in Soho. Okay. Well, we believe that there is a connection between the murders here and the murders that were happening in New York.
I'm going to dramatically smell the card.
Mhm.
Frankincense.
I am impressed with your knowledge of spice.
The spice must flow.
I knew that was coming.
Did I get an extra nerd credit for that?
Actually, I said late 20s, mid 30s.
Okay. Is she a handsome woman?
Very attractive, yes. She's the most enchanting green eyes.
Is it possible to track down if she has any aliases?
We didn't turn any up here at the yard.
Sounds very familiar. There was a psychic who disappeared in New York. Her name was Nunchako Bunye.
She also went by Mawaru.
I did not hear either of those names associated.
I'll
with her.
write them down for him.
Sure. You know that Bunya or Mweru identified herself as being from Nairobi and had a complexion that matched with that. It would be hard for somebody from Nairobi to pass themselves off as Egyptian.
A couple months in London, you get really pale.
Okay.
I mean, you
Okay.
could go to extremes, but even facial features are pretty different.
Well, it said he hinted that she had some dealings with
Gavin Young.
you,
Yeah, with the Penhew Foundation, yeah.
which sounds suspiciously like the.
Did Jackson ask you any questions about the Carlisle expedition?
Not that I recall. I think he came primarily to speak about the Egyptian murders.
Did he mention anything about the Penhew Foundation or Aubrey Penhew?
No, I don't believe he did.
I am planning on visiting the Blue Pyramid for lunch. Would you like to tag along?
I think it would be wiser for us not to show a public connection if you truly do wish to be of service to me on this one.
I agree.
So, there's no description of the murderer. I have an idea.
We have no witnesses of the murderer, no.
Yeah, this might not even be one murderer. It could be.
You just have blunt force trauma with and a
And we knew
spike through the heart.
one thing we knew about the cult in New York is that they all use the same sort of large dagger. So for a cult here to have some kind of eclectic weapon to use, it might
Seems
be a
like
spike club.
a similar modus operandi.
Did you do any investigations on the Penhew Foundation?
Why? Fine, upstanding organization. And by upstanding, he means run by white folk.
They are
Rich white folk.
They are frequently mentioned in our investigations. Also, they have a lot of connections with Egypt.
Well, of course, they sponsored quite a few expeditions there.
And they all... I am not casting aspersions, certainly, good sir, but there are some... if you are not careful, and there are lots of people in Egypt and elsewhere who will take advantage of Westerners.
I will certainly keep that in mind.
Do you have any other questions?
Not really. You asked just about all of them I wanted to
Oh,
get
sorry.
down to the heart. Nope, that's perfect.
Well, we thank you for your kind attention.
Absolutely. I'm very sorry to hear about your friend. If you do turn up any further information you believe may be relevant to the case,
He
do
was
let
a
me
lot
know.
of fun at parties.
Yeah. Do you think you can do one thing? At your earliest convenience, if you can get me the dates of at least when the bodies were found, see if we can maybe come with some connection.
Certainly, I can do that right now. It'll take just a moment.
Yeah.
Do you
Goes
have a
back.
card, sir?
He gives you his card.
We will certainly pass any information that we glean to you that could help with this.
Very good, then. Yeah, he gives you his card. He gives you a set of dates
Okay.
for all the murders.
All right.
You're not going to be able to do it this instant,
No,
but you
no,
can
yeah.
check it against a calendar.
That's
It
perfect.
does not line up with a lunar calendar at all.
Okay. But maybe some significance with special days that the Egyptians use. I mean, something. This is the kind of thing that I'm going to probably do
Sure.
research on.
Were
Absolutely.
the bodies were found, but they were not hidden or...
No, they were not hidden.
So they weren't used to make a giant
Like a
worm
sacrifice.
person.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
A worm person, you say?
No matter.
Long story.
Story,
Where were the bodies found? Just scattered all over London, or any particular place?
Soho.
They were all found in Soho,
Yes.
and no
Little
body
Cairo,
parts
as we call it.
removed. It was just a single spike through the heart.
Single
after,
spike through the heart
Hmm.
after bit of a beating as well.
Is
I'm gonna forgot to bring that map out for you guys of Shipley's house.
We go out the skylight. That's where we're going.
we did in the past Egyptian-ish ritual murderers involved taking body parts and embalming them or mummifying them. That's why we asked.
What does that have to do with worms?
We were successfully tracked down the cult that was involved in Elias's murder, but we also
Good
found...
show there, sir.
Thank you. We also found evidence linking it to cults all over the world.
Really? Now you're starting to sound like your fallen friend.
I am as surprised as you are.
Yeah.
This is not. I am an associate professor and a dealer in antiquities, and my good friend is an investigator of some note. But we've been tied together in this investigation.
See.
Yeah, there seemed to be more sort of a ritualistic sort of murder with the issues in New York.
Indeed.
So, I'm not sure if there's that connection here yet.
Well, these are interesting, fascinating concerns you've brought to my attention. Certainly keep them in mind as I continue the investigation.
Any particularly new leads?
Well, the whole mention of the New York cult is one that I had not previously followed up on, but I'm not sure I'd buy into it so much after hearing assurances that this modern cult isn't present here. I suspect strongly, gentlemen, that you're chasing a false lead here. I don't think we would have any such cult of that sort in London. This is a bit more sophisticated city than your New York.
Eyebrow up. Very well. We thank you kindly for your time, sir. And
Good day.
We will be in touch when we find something.
Good day, gentlemen.
Cheerio.
So,
see, we didn't have to kill anybody.
You went to
We
Scotland
should
Yard.
have went to the woods with the beast or whatever.
All right.
so 1 o'clock. I mean, I imagine that didn't take all
That
morning.
probably was less than an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there something else you want to follow up on before 1 o'clock?
How far is it to Empire Spices?
Oh, Empire Spices is in Soho, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
How far so? Man?
It's not, I mean, you can get to just about anywhere in London in half an hour.
We
Yeah.
have like 2 or so hours to spare right now.
Yeah.
Before
let's-
our
we
1
just
o'clock
jump
meeting.
on the tube and go to the
Yeah.
Soho.
Sure.
Yeah. We're gonna end up being at the Blue Pyramid anyway.
Buy some spices.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the Blue Pyramid's in Soho, so
Mhm.
So you make your way. Let me see what I got. Yeah, so interesting thing about that. If you look and you're heading to the Blue Pyramid, top of this map of Soho right there. See there's an A and a B on it?
uh-huh.
And the A is Empire Spices, and the B is the Blue Pyramid Club. They're awfully close. Like less than a
It's
block
close
apart.
to, we get off at Oxford Circus or
Mhm.
Piccadilly Circus.
Either one. And this map shows you Empire Spices, you can ignore the cellar and the upper floor and just concentrate on this ground floor area because that's where you'd be coming in.
Mm-hmm.
It is a 2-story building, but as soon as you head in, and you see a sign on the door that says 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily.
She has a bathtub. That's some nice rugs.
On the second floor.
Probably fake.
You're not going up there.
Well, he might not be.
There's people of a variety of different ethnic backgrounds shopping around in the spice shop, and the aromas just, it's like a wall as you walk in. Your senses are assaulted with the aromas of probably 35 or 40 different spices simultaneously. It's, some of the smells are wonderful, but all of them at once is a bit overpowering.
Excuse me.
There's jars and drawers, each labeled with different spices. What are you doing? There is a man standing behind the counter. And a woman. The man is, you see he's sweeping up behind the counter, and then he ducks back into the back room with broom in hand, continuing to sweep a pile of dust. A woman behind the counter looks up, and you're not the only customers in here, right?
Is he... What ethnicity is he?
He looks to be Egyptian.
Is
he looks
he,
to
like,
be
dangerous looking, or is
not
his...
particularly, no, kind of skinny. Looked to be in his mid-20s, probably. Looked very focused on his sweeping.
It's not... The last shop that we raided had a really good bouncer.
Did.
I was perusing, trying to acclimate.
Sure. Anything particular you're looking for?
No, I'm sort of like
I'm gonna...
eyeing what's going on.
I'm going to get, let's see. I have, disguise. I'm going to act like I'm fabulously wealthy.
Okay.
I'm going to obviously buy some spices, some Egyptian appropriate spices.
Sure. Give me a disguise roll. Tell me if you're spending points on it.
I'm going to spend a point. Let's see, do I want to play this? Were you involved in the chase?
Which? Oh yeah, you talking about the one where we followed the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does this guy look like the guy?
that's a good point.
No, he does not.
No, he does not.
Oh, thanks. 4.
Okay. Yeah. You find a selection of nice spices and head up to the counter with them. Did you find everything you were looking for today, sir?
I did. You have a lovely shop. Thank you very much.
And thank you for saying so. It is very
smells
kind of you.
Wonderful.
I recognize your accent. Which part of Cairo are you from?
The very poor parts.
Oh,
I'm doing much better now.
I'm
Thank you.
very glad to hear it.
Bless your ancestors.
Have you been there recently?
I have not been there this year.
But you go often?
Yes.
Oh, where do you usually stay?
I tell her.
And she
I'll give her my card.
accepts. Ah, I believe I have heard of you. You run a shop there.
Yes.
Very good. Oh, are you importing any spices?
Mostly I am re-importing artifacts
Ah, very good.
that may or may not have been pilfered from our people.
I certainly salute
I
that
act demurely.
approach. That we
I'm-
need more people like that.
Good madam, I'm very happy to see our cultural gifts to be exported to the world, but some things are better left buried in the sand.
Of course, I only seek to export those which can spread our culture in such a way that we also manage to return some profits back to our land in the process.
Do you have some tea? I see the tea that we have at the hotel is very poor.
I think I
Some
have
good
something. Yes,
Egyptian
yes.
tea
She
would be-
walks around and goes over to one of the cabinets and pulls out some. Does this more to your liking?
Wonderful.
I can certainly add that to your package.
Please do.
Is there anything else you needed?
No, but perhaps if I come across some spices in my dealings, we could certainly I could send you a cable or maybe a package.
I am Zara Shafiq. A pleasure to
Zahra
meet you.
Mustafa.
Pleasure to meet you, Mustafa.
And this is my colleague, Declan.
Yeah.
What was your last name, Declan?
Steel.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
We are on a bit of a fact-finding trip,
Oh?
and we're heading to Egypt in the near future.
Oh, you are. What is it you seek information about?
I also teach at a university in America, and I'm an
Oh.
anthropology professor. And
Indeed.
we have received some disturbing reports about millennial cults. Are you familiar with that term?
I don't believe I am.
Millennial cults are groups of religious fanatics who believe that the end times are coming
Oh, dear.
and do terrible things. Terrible. That would make the old gods shudder.
Well, praise Allah, then you don't have to worry about their activities.
Yes, praise Allah.
This is all done in English.
Yes.
I'm spending my time like really focusing on things like trying to assess honesty, pretty much. You know.
What an excellent idea. You have assessed honesty?
I do.
When she said praise Allah, it did not flow naturally. It was very forced. Almost as though she were cringing as she said it.
I also have a similar reaction. So, when I said the elder gods, did her eyes dilate at all?
Yeah, a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, got a girlfriend now. We had tea yesterday with a investigator who mentioned that there has been a spate of murders of Egyptians.
Yes, all of us in London must live in constant fear of these sorts of terrors. Assess Honesty is going off again. She's not at all concerned about this, you're pretty sure.
I certainly, I am certainly not afraid for my safety as long as my good friend is with me. But that is very troublesome. This should be a safe place to live.
You know how little Londoners care about those who are not proper British citizens. Native
I look
born
around.
ones.
Yes, they
She says that under her breath.
very solicitous of us, of we brown folk. But yes, we know where their bread is buttered. Their scones are buttered.
Well, I wish you well. Thank you for your custom.
I'll put my hand on her hand. It was so very nice to meet you.
And nice to meet you as well.
Even though you're not properly garbed for a Muslim woman, but I'm just kidding. Thank you very much.
Of course.
We are about to dine at the Blue Pyramid. Is there something you can recommend?
Oh, of course, yes. She rattles off 3 different dishes that she says, those are all particularly good there. I recommend that most highly.
We've been told it's not a I've been to London more than a few times, and I have yet to dine there.
It is by far the best Egyptian restaurant in town.
I'm very homesick, and we will definitely try.
Well, fortunately, you're heading there soon, you said.
Yes, very peckish.
Very good, then.
Thank you.
Of course.
I will pay for my sundries.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you were planning on doing?
Not really.
Okay.
So, well, I think when we leave the shop, I'll mention that, through your conversation with her, that I picked up on some cues that she was not completely truthful.
She's dirty.
Some.
She's hot. She's
Spicy.
spicy. Yeah. She does not strike me as someone who's very observant of the Muslim faith either. She was saying that for my benefit. So
I mean, here, out of character. Does your character dress like a traditional Egyptian Muslim?
he dresses like this.
I'm not sure what that means, though. Particularly,
No, not well.
not that I actually know if there is such a thing as like a traditionally dressed Muslim man.
Yes, this
In
is how.
Okay.
This is how. If you were conducting business, that would be how you dressed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think, like, out of character, or I'm sorry, off camera, our characters would ever have talked about personal shit? Like how, if you are Muslim, or if you
I'm
are what?
kind of. I'm more Egyptian than Muslim, and that's kind of how Egypt is.
Okay.
And I don't think it is. It
So, like,
isn't now, but I mean, there was a time where like places like Iran and Iraq and Egypt were kind of Muslim adjacent, where it was pretty westernized. But I think now it's swung back towards the other way because obviously you get your head chopped off.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Where are you heading from there?
What time is it?
By the time you do all that, it's probably about noon.
Drinks.
Yeah. We're here, literally
pub?
across the street.
Okay.
So we're gonna wait.
Find a pub
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we're just gonna wait until our 1 o'clock meeting.
Okay.
Were there any like incense at the shop? So
Oh yeah.
if there's a matchbook laying out, I'll grab a matchbook.
Sure.
The top one.
Yeah, you're able to grab one without a problem. Yeah, so you get cover that and head to a pub. What are our two murderers doing?
At
The
this point, I'm searching.
murder hobo and the hobo.
I am searching for a coat of some kind that was in their possession. Throwing that over me. I'm going out the back through the back gate.
Well, the nearest and most convenient coat is the pink house coat. That
I want something that draws less attention to me.
okay. So you're trying to sneak off. Is there carrying a stack of 6?
If you got to keep them,
Canvases?
cut them from the frames and roll them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could spend some time.
I mean, I'm going to be in a mad dash looking for
Hey,
some
John.
kind of coat.
I gotta call the shop real quick.
Sure. Was there anything else you guys were checking out in the house, or is your goal to get out of there as quickly as possible?
Yeah, we want to. There's always time to come back. There's not.
Okay.
yeah, we feel like there's more stuff in the house, but we're under.
And you weren't doing anything to conceal the bodies after you mutilated them, right?
I didn't put a knife in one eye.
I thought you were doing a little more than that.
No. Well, it all depends. I mean,
You're
I make
kind of the
mistake.
opinion that just a knife through the eye and a
bullet through the chest will not necessarily keep a good servant man down.
Oh, well, in that case, then, yeah.
While he's dismembering,
Mutilating the bodies.
Yeah.
I'll remove the frames from the paintings.
Okay.
But yeah, like, after that's done, we'll...
My suggestion was to pile more stuff up. We can bring stuff upstairs and go through the top, but you're saying you want to go out the back door.
Well, I think going through a back door as opposed to a front door right now is better.
Well, I was thinking about going to the roof. All the buildings are right adjacent to each other. We could just, once we get up on the roof,
Then double back somewhere,
yeah.
get into our coach, and in case this place goodbye for a bit.
And traveling by rooftop, superhero-wise, is probably...
I'm having
Well-
visions of the Tick.
That's right.
Alright, that actually sounds like a good idea.
We could brood on the roof if you want.
That sounds like a good idea, trying to get through that.
All right, give me an athletics roll. You don't both have to make it. Just one of you has to, and
Do
then
you have
you
any
can pull the other one up.
Yeah, I rolled a 6, but I had athletics before that. I
Okay.
didn't plan on spending points. Obviously, I spent enough points in my wrestling painting match.
All right. Yeah, you're able to get, the two of you managed to get up on the roof carrying the 6 rolled canvases. So basically all the canvases except for the one that sucked you into it.
He destroyed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I destroyed that
Yeah.
one.
And
Well, my thought was, if I destroyed the painting with you in it, either A, you would die, or B, you couldn't come back. So it didn't make sense to do that. I mean,
Hey, we got out of there through a little bit of GM trickery or last ditchedness. But yes, we're going to get out of there. I mean, to be honest, my state of mind right now, I probably, after I was done stabbing that thing enough times, it's just to get out.
sure.
yeah.
It's a locked door with a ton of barred windows. Whoever gets in there is going to get in there, so it doesn't matter where you put a
All right.
body.
Sure.
And we're going to, like I said, try to get off the rooftop somehow, double back to our coach.
Now, your coach was parked right across the street, right?
I have no idea where the coach is parked.
I mean, you hadn't taken extraordinary measures
No.
to park
No.
it somewhere far away.
No,
Okay.
There was no plan in this.
no.
Planlessness is awesomeness.
All right. I just wanted to make sure that. So, you get back to where the coach is parked, and the driver's talking to a police officer.
Looks like we're taking another route. Alright, well, I'm going to be relying on his skills more than mine. We need to foot it back.
Well, there's the subway system, too.
That's a lot of people.
There's a lot of blood on him.
Yeah.
Well, ichor. It's kind of smelly. Even you notice it.
Yes. Well, there might be a park. You can go take a swim.
In the middle of February.
That might draw some attention.
Yeah.
I'm
making,
thinking.
I'm
if-
making suggestions.
I'm thinking you know how to navigate streets pretty well.
Yeah.
And how to stay out of sight. We could blend in a bit until we get back to the.
Yeah, if we're not in any hurry to get back.
Okay.
Or not. Right now, I'm more concerned with what that coachman's saying, but
You've got Streetwise.
I do. I have disguise also. I was thinking about using that on
I have
him.
that as well.
But I don't know if my 1 point of disguise is
How
possibly.
many points of Streetwise do you have?
Streetwise, I have 2 points.
All right. Do you want to spend a point of Streetwise?
Yeah, sure.
Spend a point of Streetwise. You're able to find your way back discreetly without making a scene, going through a variety of different back alleys. You're heading back to the hotel, right?
Yeah, not to the front, obviously.
Right. You're able to get back to your hotel room, again, discreetly. The concern, and start getting cleaned up. That took you enough time, there's no way you're going to make your 1 o'clock lunch at the Blue Pyramid, though.
Weren't we supposed to be going there the next day?
No, we're supposed to be going there today.
Oh, wow.
What time do we get back to the hotel?
It's probably about 2 o'clock by the time you get back to the hotel.
So-
It took a while.
And then the next
To make your
question
way
is
through the city.
how long do we want to stick it out here? It might be time to just like move to a new hotel or something. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you're saying. Or we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm gonna get cleaned up first and definitely like have a sit down.
Yeah, you have good reason to be concerned too about the coachman knowing
Yes.
that you were
Well,
going there
maybe
to see
he's not
Shipley.
concerned. How much sanity do you have left? I mean,
Oh, I have plenty of sanity.
okay, I thought you
I'm
were
not
getting-
homicidal or not suicidal.
Well,
or-
not necessarily suicidal, but maybe oblivious
No,
to reality.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah, you'd also would have reason to be concerned about this too.
Especially since you have paintings.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, we have to come up with a cover story, and we have to find a place to put those paintings. And we have to
Yeah.
find a way to talk to
Well,
our friends.
we have a steam trunk, a storage trunk.
Nah, it's not going to do it. I mean, somewhere where, not in this building.
Well, no, the steam trunk's not stored in this building. It's in a warehouse.
He's talking about the one
Oh,
that's
the
going.
warehouse.
Yeah.
That's an excellent idea.
That's what I'm just saying.
Let's do that. Let's get those.
Okay.
We'll
And we meet
leave a
up-
note if they're not. Well, if it's 2 o'clock and they're not back, I'll leave a note, and I will. I'll say. I'll just put
Yeah, whatever note. Yeah, leave a note for the police to find.
well, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna put. I'm gonna use your real last name.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
That's a problem.
So you don't.
I know, yeah, that there's a problem if you're using my real last name. That's all you gotta say.
So, yeah, I'll just put your real last name, slide that under your middle,
yeah.
and then we'll leave.
And so you guys are going to the warehouse to deposit the paintings in Mustafa's shipping crate, right?
Seems like a plan.
All right.
So
So
no plan at all.
you're probably leaving the hotel. By the time you got yourself cleaned up, dressed again, and calmed down, and came up with this perfect plan, it's probably about 3 o'clock, right? So you guys have a couple pints, and you know you're supposed to meet Father Sully
Is
and
there a hookah
Samus.
at the Blue Pyramid?
Oh, absolutely. Well, you're not at the Blue Pyramid yet, right? You were.
No, that's where we're drinking.
Yeah,
Oh,
after
you're
this
drinking
place
at the
shop.
Blue Pyramid?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
After this
thought you
place
were
shop.
just hitting another pub.
No, we were right across the street from Blue Pyramid. We were
He
gonna
Oh.
was
get
going to
some
invite his girlfriend to come.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, we were gonna get some drinks
My
at
bad.
the Blue Pyramid about an hour before.
Thank
we
you
ate.
for clarifying that. Well, that's important.
Yeah, oh, great. Maybe not.
It can't be worse than what the crap that's going on the other side.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I don't think so. I think you guys are in a much worse situation.
Yeah. We just had a time portal.
Well, you're going to be sacrificed to, whatever.
Right. So you were greeted at the door of the Blue Pyramid by a well-dressed doorman, and he asked you for your membership cards.
Your dismembership cards.
I will hand him my card. Good sir, I did not know we needed to become members. How can we rectify this situation?
Well, membership is £5 a person.
Oh, please. I will hand him £15.
Oh, very good. He gives you a book to sign in on. Register yourselves as members.
I'm not putting my real name.
Neither am I.
All right.
Wait, John Doe and John Doe.
You could
We're
have
brothers.
you could have already been a member. You could have been a member from the past.
No, he had specifically said he'd never been in here.
I'm going to put down, instead of Mustafa Ali, I'm going to put down Kimi Ali. Kimi.
Okay.
Justin Bieber.
Dorian Gray.
Yeah.
All right.
Just not gonna go straight for the Clint Eastwood.
Puddintate.
Hugh G. Ration.
Great. Oh. I'm sorry. You sign up for membership, and he lets you in. What is it you were seeking to do here today?
Drinks?
Oh,
We're meeting the party later.
I'm terribly sorry. The club opens for dinner at 6.
Oh, there's no lunch?
No, we do not offer a lunch service.
Do you have drinks?
Well, the bar isn't open yet.
What time does the bar?
At 6.
Well, very well.
But now that you're members, you're welcome to come back at 6.
Perhaps we're not listening well when this place was recommended. That it doesn't open till 6. We are parched. We will. Where is a good place to? We could have a very Egyptian-y Muslim drink. I don't drink.
There's a coffee room, right? Shop right down the street this way, and a tea house.
If by chance a Catholic priest and a hobo come in for lunch,
Alright, so a Catholic priest and a hobo are apart.
Walk into an Egyptian bar. Yeah.
if you could direct them there, that would be helpful.
Very good, sir. Is there a name I should give them? Oh, I see. Kimi Ali. I'll let them know.
Yes, Mr. Ali. Thank you.
Very good.
I guess we just sort of wait to see if they arrive and have some tea.
Yes.
So you're gonna probably sit. Well, it's February. Probably not gonna sit outside, but
No.
you'll sit at a front table where you can keep an eye on the front door of the Blue Pyramid Club.
Is this its own building, or is it a part of a
So
group of
I think I
buildings?
gave you the map there. The ground floor of the building is a greengrocer, and then there's a stair leading up right next to it
Okay.
that gets you to the upper floor where the Blue Pyramid Club is located.
Okay. And there's some kind of... Is it fenced in, walled in?
You don't know what that is.
Oh. Okay. So it's a part of the building.
Mhm.
Okay, this is just
Yeah,
one
it's
big
part of the
tall
building.
structure.
Yep.
Okay. So it's just one building right there. An alley in between that and the neighboring building.
I'm sorry. I'm
just
see
trying
an
to
alley.
It looks like at B.
Oh.
I'm sorry. It looks like at A that there's like
Here's the
an
magnifying
alley
glass.
between the Blue
Between
Pyramid.
Empire Spices and Blue
Yeah.
Pyramid Club, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ms. Shafiq did not seem like a cult leader. But,
It doesn't seem trustworthy though.
yes.
Is there any kind of entrance into this building from the back? Secondary entrance?
So they don't put any doors on the ground floor for the greengrocer's shop
Yeah.
or the adjacent building. So
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that there are doors to the greengrocers and to the neighboring building.
Okay.
They just don't have customers there.
Yeah.
It's a head shop.
Yeah. Forgive my ignorance. What is a greengrocer shop?
A grocery store.
Okay.
That carries fresh vegetables.
Like a
Okay.
bodega. But
Okay.
considering there's no refrigeration at this time.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, they did have ice boxes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
but
mean,
that
like,
was
not true refrigeration. Most little stock shops, I don't think, will have a huge amount of ice boxes for you to.
No.
Kind of at a loss right now.
Well, we don't know that these guys were transported in time yet, so we're just gonna
That's
hang
right.
out for like an hour.
Yeah, if they don't
Maybe.
make their 1 o'clock.
In
I mean,
5
and,
minutes.
and they do not make their 1 o'clock.
An hour and 5 minutes, we're already, going to the bars.
Yeah, I mean, I think by 2 o'clock, if nobody has shown up, that I'd recommend that we go back to the hotel. Maybe they got hung up in something and they're back at the hotel.
Or hung.
Or
Yes, we're not too far from our hotel. are we?
No.
no.
Okay. Yes, I
So
need
yeah,
to walk my cat.
you'll probably get back to the hotel just in time to see Father Sully and Samus heading out the door of the hotel.
He's got like the note in hand.
He'd probably just drop the note off in your room, and they've got a bundle of something. Samus has a bundle of something tucked under his arm.
What's going on?
You guys can't show up for lunch? What?
Walk now. Start walking.
Okay. So what happened?
Instead of role playing it all out, we relay to you the incidents which we just went through.
Maybe we should do this in the room instead of
On the streets of London.
Yeah.
Keeping in mind the amount of sanity and stability he lost, on the streets of London might seem perfectly natural to him by this point.
It's like listening to a 4-year-old tell you a dream that he had 2 weeks ago. It's like, and then you're not even gonna believe this.
He's more like Reverend Jim from Taxi than.
We need to get these somewhere quickly.
What are these?
That I would definitely know not to show you in the streets of London, regardless of my current situation. Then you have to see.
So we're going to the warehouse?
I went to see them. Perhaps we should burn them.
You need to see them first.
No, I don't think I need to see them. If what you described happened, you seem very.
One of them relates directly to our current situation.
Could you elaborate? Perhaps you could draw me a picture of the picture.
I will describe them.
I could draw you a picture of the picture.
Yeah, so you have art.
We have the alchemist lab with the reptile alchemists dissecting something. One of
That was
ancient,
Mom.
And you should know
ancient
about
Egypt
the Egypt
with the
pharaoh.
golden chariots with people
Well,
prostrate to a pharaoh who is dragging
I don't know
along
that
dead
we're gonna
things and
get
jackals.
Privacy in the warehouse. That's the thing. We
You
should
don't think there
probably-
is privacy in the warehouse?
I think so. I mean, there's stuff moving in and out, and guys with.
We'll describe them to you, but we'll dump these in there for now because there could be possible problems.
Like, do we have like
coming
a
our way.
personal like storage space?
No, it's just a
Just a spot tagged.
the
as,
big
like,
box.
Oh, okay.
Suppose we don't really truly need these paintings anymore. We've already seen them.
Well, we don't need anything, but if we have the actual, I mean, it does link us to a problem,
Yes.
but it also gives us direct physical possible evidence that we might need in the future.
Or points of
Clearly this
sort of
person was-
examination and exploration.
Was disturbed, but I
But-
don't think he's a cultist killing people with a cudgel with a spike on it.
But these paintings could be moments in time that either have happened or have yet to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to assume that we at least got to glimpse at all the paintings before we hastily crammed them in a box.
Sure.
It's not unreasonable.
I mean, so like certainly the cult of the bloody tongue is depicted in one of these paintings.
Yeah.
And the description of one of the images of Nyarlathotep is just depicted in the ancient Egypt painting of the Black Pharaoh, and that has ties to what we're following here. The Black Pharaoh,
And then there's the
we
mountain.
know.
and the mountain, right, which we can assume would be
There-
Kenya.
Okay, so one of them was the New York cult, basically.
Yeah,
The one was the Egyptian cult. And
possibly.
do we know that
We have no.
the N word was the Black Pharaoh?
We've heard that. We've heard the name Black Pharaoh. And I think we've heard in one of the books that one of you read mentioned all the different names of Nyarlathotep.
Well, I mentioned many of the names.
Many
There's
names.
probably an infinite amount of names.
Yeah.
And faces.
So either it was in the I don't know, my scribble is illegible. The Lections book, Lections de Lavier de Vaughan or something. The Latin book.
The Hermes Mysteries.
I'm not sure.
Oh, Selections de l'Hiver d'Yvon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Let's see here. Geoffrey Combs, you need two vision treasures. The Life of a God, maybe. Talked about a dark pharaoh.
Life of the God specifically. We talked about a dark pharaoh. Yes.
That's all the scribble I can get.
We may have a larger problem, though.
Yeah. What is your cover story?
It's a good question. Nothing plausible.
Did maybe you saw? Maybe you
Well,
walked in.
what are the people going to think when they find a serpent person dead on the hallway? I mean,
They're
somebody's gonna find these eventually.
Do you want
Maybe
to
you should call those.
Barrington?
Tell them what? How would you approach that?
I don't know. I mean,
Maybe you should call Mickey Mahoney
yeah,
from the Scoop.
Let him.
And you know, every phone is being listened to by the Scotland Yard guys.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe that's a good idea. Call the Scoop. Let them cover the story as a lizard person found dead. But it's so unbelievable that no one will actually believe that it was a lizard person. So,
Give them a tip, an anonymous tip.
yeah, lizard person found.
Of
Yeah.
Crazed artist and lizard person.
Yeah.
Lizard lovers.
Yeah.
They can spin it however they wish,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
maybe that will gets a bit of attention away.
Yeah, it'll be so unbelievable that like any hint of what actually happened would be just ignored.
Oh, the truth is so obnoxious.
Did
you-
Did you use your gun?
Twice. 3 times. 3 rounds were fired.
It's a cult.
9/11. Automatic.
Crap. Well, that's okay too.
They made
It's
millions
still-
of them. So
Yeah, it's still unbelievable.
literally
story.
millions and millions of them less than a decade ago.
I
So-
think that's what we should do. I think that's a
I
great
think
idea.
they're still making them.
Yeah.
I think
to
we
this
should,
day, yes,
tell
they
that
are.
story.
I'm just saying, like, they're not going to
Yeah.
be like, oh, there's only one of those in London.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know that you can buy one in London.
Not easily. No.
And that may or may not hint at. I mean, I
Foreigners.
don't know what kind of forensics they
I'm
had
gonna-
at the time.
I think it's fair to say that maybe 1 or a couple thousand found their way back from World War I.
Yeah,
But what links us is the driver.
that's right.
So that doesn't really matter. The gun isn't as important as the driver.
The driver. Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to kill him too.
So
Absolutely
maybe
not.
you walked in. Maybe you walked in on the horror. You don't know it's a lizard person. You don't know. You didn't have anything to do with it. No one knows you have a gun, so that's moot.
No,
That you
what will be
ran?
odd is they'll say, look, I've dealt with English law enforcement before. Do not wish to deal with them again. I'm thinking you may have to leave town for a bit.
I'm more thinking leave England.
You just can't have nice stuff.
And
And not go to Peru either. We might have wanted there.
In New York.
I mean,
No,
in all
I don't
honesty,
think we're
like,
wanted in
there's
New
no
York.
plausible thing that we could really come up with. We were dropped off there, and then what, we left without our carriage.
okay, I mean,
That wouldn't end if we walked in on something. We'd be the first to talk to the police.
Well, there is a way out. You're not going to like this. There's a locked room within the house. We could break into that locked room, and you guys could relock the room, and we would be like prisoners held in the house. That is our cover.
That's a risk.
Everything's a risk, but that is a very good cover.
The locked door thing?
Yeah, just lock us in the locked room.
Lord.
He doesn't talk much, but when he does...
So, is our driver still waiting for you there?
I have no idea. It's been a few hours. It's easy enough to get back into the place
Yeah.
through the roof. That's if they haven't busted down the doors.
I mean, was the driver parked right across the street?
Yes.
So he saw you definitely go into that house.
Yes. For sure.
And he never saw us leave.
Huh. I think you're gonna have to go back and get into the. Now that you've cleaned yourselves up, get into the.
Oh, man. Let's
I
do
think-
it.
wait,
Let's do it. That's a
I
great...
think-
I mean, as funny as it sounds and as outrageous as it sounds, it's not a bad idea.
Look, if they didn't break into the house, we can just dispose of the bodies.
If the police didn't break into the house?
Yeah.
So it involves going back to the house regardless.
Regardless. So we either...
We all wanted to go back to the house.
Unless the police have already interviewed the driver, he's.
They saw him. They saw the police interviewing the driver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can tell you that.
So...
Oh, well,
Alright.
then you're fucked.
Alright, how about
Sorry.
this? Can I use any kind of, like
I'm gonna go
either
back to my room and pet my
forensics,
cat.
or can I use like forensics to sort of, based on what I know about, God, I don't even know where to go with this.
I say we take a tube and discreetly check it to see what's going on there.
Oh no, I did not know that the police were already interviewing the driver.
That was hours ago.
So, I mean, Mahoney is another good option. Give him...
That's what I'm saying. We'll go
Let
there.
him be the diversion, right? He's going to go up there, ask ridiculous questions.
Well, what I'm thinking, this is my thought. We go back and see
We gotta
if
get out.
if there's a bunch of Scotland Yard around, or caddies, or Coleman place, then obviously the idea of the closet is out. In which case, we go to Mahoney.
They probably would have gone through all the rooms. And
Assuming that they kicked on the door.
Yeah, nobody ever answered the door.
Nobody answered the door.
By the
So-
time they were knocking on the door, all
why
of
would the police interview the?
Yeah, that's the other thing, too. All
Someone
we
must
know
have
is
heard
that
shots
they heard
and-
some loud ruckus. And then a cop, a Patty, was talking to a driver. They don't know. Do we know if they knew where that sound came from?
That's what I said. I have.
I mean, were they physically knocking on the door or
Somebody
something?
knocked on.
Somebody knocked on the door. We never looked. We didn't reply. There was no noise.
No noise, and then you just climbed up off on the roof and disappeared.
That's right.
Okay.
Batman. Or who's Spring Hill Jack?
There you go.
So
Spring Heel Jack.
I have the idea that we go look
Where's
at
that
it,
from?
see what's going on there.
It's a Victorian legend.
Yeah.
London legend.
I know that story, but I can't remember where I heard it.
I think maybe you should. I grabbed the newspaper article and say maybe you should go investigate this for a couple of days.
What the one outlet? But
Or
we'll still be
leave.
waiting here when we come back.
Or do
Let's
you-
go look and see what's going on.
Yeah.
What? Why don't you guys stay here and one of us go check it out?
Okay.
That's probably a better idea.
Probably him. You don't blend in as much.
Thanks. I know.
Okay.
Do you
that's a
know?
good- that's a
Do you
good
know
idea.
anyone who can hide you for a few days?
I know plenty of people that can hide me for more than a few days.
Yeah, this is. If they've gone into the house,
Yeah, then we're. I don't know what to do. I mean, that's something that we could talk about
I don't
after I
know
figure
you guys.
out. I mean, if they're in the house, then I think we can call Mahoney because we need to spin this in a ridiculous way. Lizard people.
I think maybe you could do that anyway.
Yeah, but he's the source that we have that can do it.
Right? No, but I mean,
Doing that
Either-
regardless is what you're saying.
Yeah.
No matter what, just
because
Give 'em
eventually
the tip.
somebody's gonna find.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but unless nobody is in the house, then we can just dispose of the bodies.
How are we gonna do that?
Well, I don't know.
They-
yet.
they-
We
Well, I'll
could
tell,
do
I'll
it.
tell you how
They
we're
who
not
smelt
going to do
it
it.
dealt it.
We're
Yeah.
not going to send them through a time gate.
Right. We don't
that would
know.
have been convenient.
Well, I tried to send the guy through the time
that's right,
gate.
you didn't go through
Time
it.
gate, you have to do it mentally. You can't do it
Yeah.
physically or whatever. You pray to your God. You know how it works.
And we can cut
I
it
have
up
no
in little
recollection of
bits.
it.
I don't really have an answer yet.
Go scope it out.
let's figure out what's going on there first,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then so that's what I'm gonna do. I'll take a trip out there.
Let's not
Sure.
call the same driving service.
No, I'll probably not even call one. I'll take the train or whatever.
Sure. So you're going by yourself.
Yes.
Awesome. You're going by yourself. You're staying at the hotel?
No.
Well, we went to the warehouse.
Yeah,
So
you went to the
currently
warehouse.
at
So
the
where are you
warehouse-
going from the warehouse?
We're going to a different hotel and asking you to get our parcels and bring them to this new hotel.
I'll probably have to. I won't be able to carry them other two. I'll have to get a cab. But
Well, I don't have very much.
I'll just go pick up his bindle stiff. His bindle. Okay.
So that's what we'll do.
In my personal opinion, you might want to get rid of that gun in the river.
Sure.
I know you love that thing because you use it all the time. But
Well, we could just put it in your storage locker.
no,
We've already got paintings.
I don't think they have ballistics forensics.
right? But they
Just
probably
yet.
know powder burns. They can test his hand for powder burns. I would imagine.
I don't think so. Not yet.
I think that it's not like the Dark Ages.
I don't know how getting rid of a gun would help that either.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's
Well,
more useful.
Not getting rid of it permanently.
No, I
just
don't.
putting it
I
in the
don't,
storage
I don't think we
locker.
need to use. I mean, using guns is a very street. You know, in America, I mean, everybody's got them, and they're shoot. Here, it's
Oh, believe me, I know what the English think.
yeah. So it's that's just my recommendation.
Well,
Don't put it back in the crate that's
I will take your
registered
recommendation.
to my.
I will listen to your advice, but it's been more useful than not.
Not if it gets you thrown in jail. I mean,
Jail is preferable to being devoured by a snake person.
depends on what jail you go to. Please don't put it back in this crate.
I
We're
won't.
standing over the crate.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to that.
Go to a different hotel.
Yes. He's going to scope out what's going on there.
I will bring your thing. Give me your room keys. Are you registered under your own names?
I have no idea what we're registered under, but I'm pretty sure it's probably under our name. But don't close out my account.
Well, give me your key.
There you go.
Samus, give me your key. I'm staying at that hotel.
That's fine.
I think we should appear to be as
Calm and normal as possible.
yeah. We only have one more thing we have to do in London. Maybe we should get book tickets out of London for Saturday.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, the only other thing we have to do is burn down the Blue Pyramid, and we'll be done.
All right, so that's what we're doing.
Okay.
That.
So you guys are checking into a new hotel.
Yes.
You're
What?
taking their stuff to them, and you're going to check out the Shipley house.
Yep.
Okay. Toss me, of the three of you, just one of you, your choice, gentlemen. Which one wants to make this roll? Give me a sense trouble.
I already know there's trouble. I don't need to
Tell me
roll.
if you're spending points on it.
I haven't been rolling very well, but
You're gonna roll a 1. Have faith in me.
all right, I'll throw a sense trouble onto this. 4.
Okay. As you are moving between hotels, or when you're leaving the warehouse, heading to a hotel, you notice that you picked up a tail.
Same
And
tails before.
you don't recognize this person.
Does he look Egyptian?
He does. And you also notice that there is somebody following Mustafa as well when you guys split up.
Gonna try to lose the tail.
Okay. Give me shadowing. Or stealth. Stealth sounds good.
I have lots of stuff.
Okay. You can give me the stealth.
I'll spend a point.
Alright.
Whatever that is. A 1. Oh yeah. 1 plus 1 is 2, by the way.
Alright. You're pretty sure you are not able to lose the tail.
Keep searching. Keep
Circling.
yeah. Keep
Perhaps
going.
you should register it under a different name.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Try to take another route then.
Well,
Better yet.
there's 3 of us and only 1 tail.
No, there's one following you too.
Well, us. Oh, no, we split up. That's right. There's not 3 of us. There's 2 of us, and there's 1 of you.
What I'm suggesting is we walk into a hotel, go out the back of that hotel to a different hotel.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do that. See if we can shake.
Yeah.
Shake
Give me
it.
another stealth roll.
Another route is to get in a taxi, just drive randomly, just go to a random place. Because if this guy's on foot, you know.
Oh, that's a good point. Let's do that. See, you're much better at this than I am.
Well, it's just random chaos. Ideas are just thrown out randomly.
Yeah,
So,
so
we'll
you hop
hail
into a cab,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he hops into a cab behind you and shouts out, "Follow that cab," because you have to.
Yeah.
But give me a stealth roll to see how Well, you do a job of.
Well, I got a 2 this time.
Were
That was a 2.
you spending points?
No.
All right. You're pretty sure you lose the tail this time? And eventually go to the hotel that you were originally planning to go to because otherwise Mustafa will have no way to find you.
Yeah.
All right. Mustafa, you know you picked up a tail on your way back to the hotel because Sully rolled well enough and somehow managed to communicate it to you.
We picked up a tail at the warehouse.
You noticed you had a tail when you were leaving the warehouse. You're not sure when you actually picked it up.
Because, yeah, we kind of came out at a random time. We were all... Does the tail look Egyptian?
He does.
Look, I said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is he carrying a big Fred Flintstone club with a spike on it?
That would be a dead giveaway.
Or Captain Caveman, perhaps?
He is not.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to my room.
Mm-hmm.
They probably, the hotel room doors probably don't have peepholes, do they?
They do not.
Well, if you shoot the door with a gun,
I'm not shooting. I'm not shooting anything.
that would create a
You could
peephole.
use your sword's cane to jab a hole through.
Right.
I was going to suggest that, but the gun was so much
I'm
more
going
efficient.
to. When I enter, I'm going to close the door and I'm going to count to 10, and then I'm going to open the door real quick and look out.
Sure.
Did I say anything?
Oh, that was very sneaky of you. You do not notice the person that was following you in the hallway.
So if he's still in the hotel, he's probably in the lobby.
That seems a reasonable thought.
Pull the fire alarm.
Makes you think this building
I'm about to
has a
say.
fire alarm.
Why pull an alarm? You can set one.
Yeah, I'm not shooting anyone or saying
Burn down the hotel.
I was going to suggest that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to change, and I'm gonna change my overcoat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm going to. I'm gonna quick and grab their stuff from their rooms
Sure.
and put it in my room.
Okay.
I'm gonna change my overcoat and I'm gonna. Do you have any hats I can put on? I think this fez is pretty.
It is very distinctive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but the only hat. Well, you know what? I probably have a tabby hat like this somewhere.
Okay.
But it's either that or my chaplain's military garb. I really don't have too much clothing.
Do you have any hats? You have a hobo hat?
Oh, you've got to have a hobo hat.
I do, but I
But
would
you
be
only have
wearing it.
one,
That's right.
You're wearing it, sure.
So there's nothing in my...
And you share it with the other guys on the train car.
If it's a decent hotel, I'm sure they've got at least some hats downstairs.
Well, what I want to do is put on a different hat and like an overcoat,
Sure.
and like pull up the
Collar,
the
yeah.
collar, and try not to look Middle Eastern,
Sure.
and like breeze through the.
Are you going to like cover your body in white powder and stuff?
No, I'm not going to do white face. I'm going to breeze through the foyer to see if I can see my tail.
Oh, you absolutely do. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
You in fact think he's not very good at this.
does he look? Is like what's a? Is he young? Is he
He's probably in his
sneaky looking?
mid-40s. He's kind of heavy set, and he's does not look sneaky at all. He actually looks kind of tired.
I'm gonna go out. I'm not gonna make eye contact or anything like that. I'm just gonna like side glance and size him up, and while I'm walking, and then I'm gonna exit the hotel and I'm gonna see if I can walk around the building
Sure.
and see if there's an alternate route into the building or
Sure.
service
Yeah,
entrance.
absolutely.
Is there a service entrance?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to go through the service entrance
Sure.
and go back up to my room.
Sure. You're able to do that without an issue. You don't think you picked up a tail in the process.
Okay. I'm gonna go up, get the stuff,
Mm-hmm.
go back out the service entrance, go a couple streets the other way,
Mm-hmm.
not in front of where the hotel is, and hail
Sure.
a cab.
All right. So that was a very complicated way of saying I'm going to roll a stealth, but you did it in such a evocative way that I'm going to say take +2 on the roll,
Let's see.
and tell me if you're spending points.
Definitely.
Do you have any points?
Can I? Oh yeah, I have 3. I'll spend a point in stealth and a point in disguise. Can I do that?
Take your pick. Roll one or the other. Don't spend points.
I'll
for
do the
both.
stealth.
Okay.
So 4.
All right.
Well,
Is that with
plus
the
you got the
+2 I
plus
told
two.
you to spend?
Oh,
Oh,
so
5.
plus 5.
All right. You feel that you are being pretty darn sneaky. And you are reasonably confident that you do not have anyone tailing you as you make your way.
Yeah, this guy did not look like.
We're trying to get rid of the good guys. We're shaking the good guys. You guys are just all paranoid. You think everybody's out to kill us.
Well, it's not paranoia when everybody is out there.
But I don't feel that.
You know I had to say that.
So, Declan,
Yes.
you were going off by yourself.
Yep.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And you were heading back into Chelsea, wasn't it?
Yep.
To go check out the Shipley residence.
That's right.
Walking up the street, you see the coach that you guys have been renting,
Mm-hmm.
parked across the street from the Shipley house,
Mhm.
right where Sully and Samus told you it would be.
Yep.
And you see a cop walking back and forth up and down the sidewalk right in front of the Shipley house.
Just one?
Just one.
Okay. I would like to sort of scope the block,
Sure.
just to sort of make sure that there are no more than just one cop.
You only see the one cop.
One cop.
You also do notice that there is a note on the door of the Shipley house.
All right. I want to like light a cigarette. Like what I want to do is I want to like walk up to the in front of the Shipley house, and like that's going to be the opportune time that I want to light my cigarette.
Sure.
So I'm just gonna like stop, dig for my cigarette case. I want to look at that note, but simultaneously light my cigarette,
Okay.
just so to see if I can read the note and then walk off.
It's an envelope addressed to the resident. It's kind of tucked into the door.
Okay.
The officer, as you stop there, move along, please.
I tip my hat or whatever.
Chip, chip. Heavy old. Right?
Yeah.
That's
All
what
right.
we all say.
Okay.
Now, you guys had talked about calling Mahoney. I don't think you actually did.
Not yet.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, once that lever's been pulled.
That's a can of worms to open.
So is the coach person like a permanent driver or just a part of a company?
No, it's a driver you guys hired.
Yeah. He's going to be there until we come out or until somebody tells him to go.
Okay. So he would know. He would recognize my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well,
Let's try to play it off like
Oh,
You're
that'd
not
be on
walking.
the-
You're not like, hey!
in the handouts folder.
Oh, you're like, and then you're walking away.
Yeah. But I was thinking if it was just like from a company, right? Then I just hey, are you heading towards? You think give me a lift, just to get him out of there. But if he recognizes me, he'd be a little even more conspicuous.
But on the plus side, if the house hasn't been ransacked,
Yeah.
it means that there was a disturbance, but they don't know where it was from,
Yeah.
and quite possibly they're just patrolling to see what happens.
What happens? Yeah.
Which means your idea
Might work.
might work.
But Mahoney could be a good diversion too.
Pull all the levers.
Like he could go to the cop, like I heard there was a murder, a lizard man, and then and then we can do
That-
our thing.
What would be better would be us going inside there, than you guys going to your newfound acquaintance at Scotland Yard, being like, hey, our friends said they were going somewhere and they never came. They were supposed to meet up for dinner or whatever. They never came.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I like it.
Pull them all.
It's coming right out of our bums at the moment. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah.
Throw it against the wall and we'll see
No,
what
I think
sticks.
that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yep. Which means it's gonna work.
How could it not?
Horribly, but it might.
If there's not, a big CSI van there, I think maybe we should lay low and then, or you can jump in the car and have him take you back to the hotel and tip him really well,
Or kill them.
or kill him.
No, I think going with plan A here, going back and being like, it hasn't been ransacked. Let's go with the locked door thing, and you guys can use your newfound acquaintance.
No, I think that is a terrible idea.
In what way is that any more terrible than killing a coachman who knows all of us and is being hired by us?
I don't think we should kill that guy.
You just suggested that.
No,
I
said
suggested
he suggested that. I said Declan can get in the
Just get into the cab and say, "Take me to."
Right, the guy who recognizes him,
right.
Where's my friend?
blowing this whole plan
No,
with
just
that.
or just I'm not there, so you have to come up with this on your
Yeah,
own.
what would Declan do?
But if I
Try to
could,
get that driver out.
if I could send you a dream with my
With
magic bowl,
with your
it would be
Casbowl.
to jump in, tell him that your friends called and said they were going to have an orgy or whatever. They were delayed and to go back to the hotel and give him £5.
No,
Implement him too. That's a great idea.
But I'm not there, so.
And that wouldn't be suspicious either.
Yeah.
No, but it's certainly less questions to answer than, being locked in a cabinet.
No, actually, that's not less questions to answer. This guy was clearly insane. He threw us in a cabinet because we wanted to purchase one of his pictures. We saw him rip it up in front of us, and then he overpowered us and threw us into a cabinet
I think we should.
at gunpoint.
There's no internet or cell phones.
Boom!
So I think that if
Yes, what would Declan do?
if we leave on Saturday, we got a good chance of escaping without.
And
You guys.
and getting all our points back.
I don't even know you guys.
I'm honestly thinking that this insane plan that came out of Samus's mouth is actually going to work.
Well, you guys are in your new hotel rooms in the flop house, probably drinking and shaking and coming up with weird plans.
You have 7 days to think about
I was going to say, it is now 8:55,
Ah.
so I think perhaps
Give me a week to think about
take
what
a
I wanna
week
do.
to make your final decision.
That's
Yeah.
not good.
But you have concluded that the coach driver's still there.
Yep.
There's only one police officer there,
Yep.
and you don't see any clear sign that an entry was forced
That's
at
right.
the house.
That's right.
Which would have to have happened since the door was locked behind us when we got it.
Okay, so
And there's bars on all the windows.
I
so you
could do
would've
this too.
noticed.
I'm spitballing this, right? This is all out of character for this run. I could also. I know that you mentioned that the roof was accessible. I could just dispose of the bodies.
You could do that.
You have a week to think about it. That makes it more interesting.
All right.
That's right. I'm in the business.
Well, let's take
I'm
a
in the
week to
work
think
business,
about it.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for anyone that's watching. Have a great night.